Hello. I'm back for my second ever live stream. Do I know any more than last time? Not really, but giving it a go, because why not? That's what we do. So, Collectors Unite is still on a bit of a hiatus, and I just got back from Hong Kong yesterday, and I did a lot of shopping. I buy another suitcase, a lot of shopping is what I did. So I thought I would just come on at the usual stream time and just show you guys all the things that I got from Hong Kong, talk a little bit about my trip and the experience. I was there for about 8 days in total, so I had a chance to do some tourist stuff, which was absolutely awesome. I really enjoyed Hong Kong. It was a really lovely place to visit. So in addition to all the great figure shopping, it was a very cool place. I spent a few days walking around with the gimbal trying to capture as much of the figure scene as I could. So, my next few days, will be putting together some videos. So I was very lucky. I got to check out Secret Base, Echo Base, Rebel Base. I went to Toy Hunters. I went to quite a few of the shopping malls in the main sort of figure area, which is Mongkok, really accessible by subway. And all of those main shopping malls are pretty close to each other. Like it's very walkable and you can do that all in a day. But it was quite interesting because I got to Hong Kong on my first day. I arrived in the afternoon. So when I went for a walk around, lots of things were happening. It was a pretty vibrant place. And then the next day I headed out at maybe like 9 o'clock in the morning and it was like a ghost town. Like the banks and maybe a couple of cafes were open. Like it really, things there don't really kick off till later in the afternoon. And that was definitely the case with a lot of figure stores. Like you don't want to go there too early because the shops open when they decide to open. They may have a sign with opening hours, but they do what they want there. So I went there the first time and just walked around to experience it as a collector, which was amazing. And then the second day I went back and did quite a bit of filming. And then the third day is when I did shopping. I did shopping across all the days, but when I filmed, I tried not to do too much shopping because it was a bit awkward to carry. But yeah, had an amazing time. As I said, got back yesterday. So I thought I would show off everything that I bought, which was more than I expected. I didn't really anticipate that I would buy full figures. I thought I'd more be there for the kit bash parts and pieces, which in itself, like there was so much amazing stuff that I saw while I was there. So yeah, we'll unbox some stuff. Hopefully I'll do all this justice and hopefully the stream comes across okay. Last time I did this, the video was a little bit choppy. So I'm hoping that that's not the case today. I did tweak some stuff with my Wi-Fi settings. So I hope that this is coming through a bit better than the last time. So fingers crossed I'm getting better than this. And there's some people in the chat. So that's amazing. And that's always something that makes me happy. So it's nice to have some people to hang out with. Bobby, Friday Fun Day. Yes, it is Friday Fun Day. Also because I got some sleep. I flew over Wednesday night to get home. So yesterday I was very much a bit of a zombie. So it was nice to have a good night's sleep in my own bed. And then unwrap everything from the bubble wrap because that was the funny thing. Like I would buy something like a head sculpt and they would just hand it to you loose and I'd be like, oh, like, can I have a bag or some packaging? But I was lucky there was a stationery shop near the hotel that sold bubble wrap by the meter. So lots of bubble wrap was bought by me to bring everything home safely. So everything did make it home safely, which I'm happy about. Carlos, hello. It's so nice to see you live in the chat. Can't wait to see your haul. I know, right? Like, I feel like this is the first time of me actually taking in everything that I've bought, which, as I said, was a lot more than I thought. Ramson Fan 79, hello. Howdy, Helen. Howdy to you. I think you're the person who gave me the awesome idea for Bruce and Lucius with the camo tumbler, and I am still mulling that over. I take a long time to think and process through things, but I am still really digging that idea, so that's very cool. Your stream looks good. Well, amazing. So that's already an improvement on the last time. Like, I really appreciate everyone who persevered through the last stream because like I'm doing StreamYard on my own, so I don't have anybody to tell me what it looks like. And when I'm looking at myself, it all looks great. And when I watched it back, like the audio was okay, but the video was a bit choppy, and I felt really bad because I was like, oh, people like sat through 2 hours or whatever it was of this. So appreciate those people that did that. So stream is fine in Texas. What Texas? Whereabouts in Texas? I visited Texas in July. When I was in the US, I went to San Antonio and Austin and Dallas. So I really liked Texas. I thought it was cool. So what else? Action in the box. Hi, hello. Welcome. Yeah. Wow, people in the chat. I'm so easily impressed with this. I didn't realize that the time had changed in the US, so now everything is I think an hour earlier, because I think normally the 10 p.m. here is 10 a.m. there. So I don't know, does this time work for people? Is it a bit awkward? Would me streaming an hour later make this easier for people? Not that I'm committing to doing this regularly. I think I'm doing this when I have stuff to show off, because I don't know that people otherwise need a stream of someone talking to themselves about figure news. I don't know. Do they? Don't they? I don't really know. Greetings from Brazil. That's so cool. Hello. I heard you were here a bit late. I'm about 2 hours from San Antonio. Oh, cool. I really liked San Antonio. There was so much to see and do. I just didn't love the humidity. Yeah, and that was the thing with Singapore. Singapore. I keep saying Singapore. Hong Kong. I went to Hong Kong. I feel very lucky that I went when I did, because the humidity was not too bad in Hong Kong. But we did have a couple of typhoon warnings where I didn't know what that meant, and I think it was on the Saturday. Suddenly, everywhere I went, I kept seeing these signs saying like typhoon warning, signal 1, and I'm like, well, what does that mean? And apparently 1 means nothing. It went up to 3, which meant it was just a bit rainy. Then it went away, and then the day I was flying out, it came back. So I was sitting in Hong Kong airport just watching the sky go very hazy and black and just going, I just want my flight home, please. It got home okay. So it was very, very, very happy to get home. Doing great. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. The Broke Collector, thanks for doing a live stream. I have to capture you on the replay. Oh, good. As I said, I didn't realize about the time change. So I realized this is now probably a little bit awkward. 9 a.m. people probably getting ready for work and things like that. So if I do this again, I'll have to reconsider the time and see what works for people. Because I guess maybe it's a bit easier if people are a bit into their workday rather than at the start of their workday. So I don't know. I'll have to see. 11 a.m. here in Brazil. Well, that's a better time for you, isn't it? I think in the west coast of America, it's like 6 a.m., which I had not considered, because I don't know who's watching this. Where are you? I don't know. But yeah, let me know either in the chat or in the comments. If I go live again, is Friday still a good day? Is what time works for people? I've got a bit of flexibility because I'm still on holidays from work. So I will try to, accommodate people. So we'll do that. You came on the terrible heat time. Yeah, everyone said that to me. Everyone was like, oh my God, Texas in July. But where I am in Western Australia, like I always compare us to like Nevada and Arizona. Like we get into the 110s dry hot. So it was funny because I'd come from Arizona and that was like 117 degrees. So I was like, oh, Texas, no problem. But when I got to like San Antonio and it was so humid, I was like, I'll take the heat in Arizona because I can do that dry heat. The humidity was just crazy to me. It was a lot. Just got people chatting to each other. That's cool. Hi, Helen. A nicely timed 2 p.m. here. Thank you. Well, that's great. Well, the time's working for some people, so that's good. As I said, I set the time and then I didn't realize, and I'd gotten some feedback from people about, as I said, whether it worked for them or didn't. So I just thought, I said this time, I'll go live at this time. And then, as I said, if I do stuff again, I will do my best to accommodate based on what people say to me. So 8:09 in Texas. Oh, I hope you're doing okay after your surgery. I hope it wasn't anything too serious. 30 days off. That sounds like it's a long recovery time. So I hope you're okay, and I hope your surgery went well, and I hope everything's good for you. Because yeah, that's a long time to be off. Goodness, I hope you're okay. Hope you're okay. Glad you're here tuning in. Hopefully I can entertain you for a little bit and get your mind off whatever's going on. So goodness. A lot of people in the chat. Wasn't expecting that so soon. I appreciate everyone who's here. So should I start showing you guys some of the stuff that I bought? I've tried to order this in a way where I start from the small things and move my way up maybe to the more interesting things. I think they're all interesting, so we'll see. So far, so good. Awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. We all want everybody in the community to be happy and healthy and just enjoying life. So I'll start off with the small fish, and probably something that people think is boring, but I use these a lot. So I got a few of these. They're blank display bases. So these are like the old school Hot Toys oval style display bases. And why do I buy these? Because when I put together ensembles like the A-Force, I like them to have matching bases. And what I do is I quite often get custom decals made. So I was actually thought about it, and here's one I prepared earlier. So this is what I mean. Like I get the custom decals printed, I get the nameplates done, and it just means when I'm putting together collections of figures that I can have a base that is a bit more space friendly, but also I can do a custom decal. So for the A-Force, they've all got A-Force logos. For like the Arrowverse shelf there, they all have bases that correspond with their TV shows. And even with like my Dark Knight collection, like there's so many different bases that come with different figures. Like the ones that come with Bane and the DX12 are really big. So I've swapped pretty much all of them out for these oval style display bases with the custom decals. And these were super cheap in Hong Kong. These were like 19 Hong Kong dollars, which is crazy. I think that's like $2 Australian. So it's nothing. And when I've seen these online, they've not been cheap. And I think this was the interesting thing, was that I knew there'd be a markup on a lot of items, but I didn't realize how much of a markup. So I've made a note of some of the prices I paid and what some of these prices are that I've seen online. But with these stands, I've seen them sold like $5 for $35 US. Whereas if you convert it with the price I paid, you'd be buying 5 for $12 US, which is like a huge difference in the price. So that was something I thought there'd be a markup. I just didn't realize how much of a markup. And I think you'll see that with some of the next stuff that I bought. So display band stands can go over there. So I bought some loose odds and ends. So I found these, this bag of, like coins. So I'm guessing these are like for like a John Wick. So you've got stacks of coins and some loose gold coins. And I'm not joking when I say it's these were 20 Hong Kong dollars, which is nothing. Like what is 20 Hong Kong dollars? That's $2.50 US. And I got this from a shop called Toys Beat, which is the physical store for TNS. TNS sells this bag of coins for $20 US on their website. And that's what got me. Things that were the number in Hong Kong dollars on their website were like the number in US dollars. And I'm like, I totally appreciate they've got to put like shipping in there. But like, this is $20 US. And I got it for $20 Hong Kong. Which I think is like $4 Australian, if my maths is correct. So this was the thing that just kind of tripped me out, was just how much the pricing varied between physical store to online store. So this was something cool that I saw. Again, I just thought could be handy with some of the Wick stuff that I'm doing. So picked this up, was very happy to see that. Old school bases, I do miss those times with today's Hot Toys. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Love the decal designs. I get them through a guy called Evil Face. I think it's on it was Sideshow Freaks Forum, and now it's at Custom Freaks Forum. He's also on Instagram, but he is amazing. I have sent him logos, like my A4. So I found a logo online. He turned that into a decal. On the forum, he's also got tons of examples of stands that he's done. Like whenever he does a batch, he'll post the images. So I've also gone through his archives and just gone, yep, I want this, I want that, I want that. Does an amazing job. I think they're really reasonably priced. And again, I love how much space you save using these old school bases. Wow, yeah, I think that's the price difference. Yeah, I was saying a lot of wow as well. Yeah, it was crazy. He's super talented. Absolutely. Like I love all the decals that I've gotten from Evil Face. He does a great job. And I had tried other people like off eBay, and I think maybe they print theirs digitally, and I just found that like I got some Game of Thrones ones done and they were just not the clear. Like the nameplates and the imagery weren't clear, whereas I think this is like layered, I'm going to guess vinyl, and you can kind of feel like this is raised. So you've got the matte black vinyl for the base, and then the layers of the red for the logo, and then the white sitting on top. So I think these are a much higher quality product than some of the printed ones that you see online. So yeah, love Evil Face. I need to put in an order with him because there's some chonky bases here that need to go. What else did I buy? I bought just some random black boots. Oh, I should. Are these? They're not particularly visible, are they? So these were like 30 Hong Kong dollars. I think 5 Hong Kong dollars is 1 Australian dollar. So $6 Australian, that's probably like 4 something US. I just thought generic black boots, they're always going to be handy for kit bashing and customs and whatnot. So they're men's boots. Picked them up with nothing particular in my mind because I saw them and I thought they were cool. The next thing I saw, which was on my wish list, and I was quite excited when I saw this, it's a little 6-scale camera. Like a photography camera, which, are you going to focus for me, please? Work. Why won't you work? Oh, sorry, guys. I'm still working all this stuff out. But I got this for my Jessica Jones figure because I thought it would be really cool if she had a camera. And I didn't realize at the time that this actually has a strap. So I think I'm probably going to like put it over her shoulder. I've got Jessica Jones with the Defenders. So I thought it would be cool because I've got the Hero Lawyer 2.0 and I've got him holding his Daredevil mask, and I've got Danny Rand with his sort of Iron Fist. And I thought it would be cool for just to have a bit of an accessory. So I found this. Come on. Focus for Helen. Yeah, it's very cool. I saw some other cameras, but they were like the body was loose and the lenses were loose and they didn't connect to each other. So I found this. There's so many shops that just sell loose parts. And I'm going to do a video on shopping in Hong Kong because there's definitely arcades that are better to go to for kit bash parts versus arcades for full boxed figures. So I want to give people a bit of an overview into that, but also just provide a bit of, I guess, general guidance on Hong Kong and getting around and things that I kind of discovered as a tourist that I think might help people if they're visiting for the first time. So that's all coming very soon. Sweet. The camera's cool. That would be good. Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man figure. Absolutely. That would be really cool for that. Costa, Kalimera, Tikanis, thank you for joining me. You know, I'm going to be on Points of Articulation on Monday. And Costa, I went to the supermarket today because I had no food in my house. And I bought some Tim Tams. So I'm ready for you. We're going to Tim Tam Slam on Monday on Points of Articulation. If you don't know what that is, tune in because that's the most delicious thing you can do. Bar nothing else. It's amazing. So thanks for dropping by. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that well, but I really liked that. I thought, as I said, very cool. Had Jessica Jones in mind, and that was on my wish list. So I was very happy to get that. And I have to say, the shops with all the parts and pieces, it's like an overload. Like I went to, as I said, some of the same shops 3 times and would see different things each time. It was just crazy, just the amount of stuff they have. Even like you'd walk up to a shop and they would just have a huge cardboard box out the front with just loose items. And you just have to rummage through and try to find what you're looking for. Like stuff is everywhere. And even what spun me out was like walking through malls and just seeing boxes of in-art figures just sitting on the ground, like in-art Aragorns for days. I was just like, oh, that's where they all are. That's cool. Can't wait to see the videos of Hong Kong. Yeah, I took a lot of footage. I just need to put it all together. And I don't know if people want to see other general things about Hong Kong or if I should just keep it to the figure stuff. So I'll see how I go. But as I said, I think at least 5 videos I'll have about Hong Kong, which I'm really excited to share. I hope people enjoy them and they find them helpful. Tim Tams. It's Australia's gift to the world. I genuinely believe that. I actually, when I was in Hong Kong, I stumbled across where Hot Toys head office is. And I was like, I wish I had some Tim Tams, because I would have totally waited out the front to find Howie, to be like, Howie, hello, I am your humble fan from Australia. These are Tim Tams. Please make a Koye for me to complete my A4s. Thank you very much. I'm interested in those videos as well. Cool. As I said, it was interesting. So as I said, some things were as I expected, some things weren't. And what I kind of want to do is break down the different malls and what they're good for. Because I think if I knew what I knew now, I would have tackled some of the shopping in a different way. But that's okay. We all learn. And that's the thing when you're a first timer and you don't know anything about Hong Kong, but you're trying. So did my best. This is cool. This is a, let me open it up. If I was smart, I would have had scissors, but why not have a box cutter and maybe cut myself on air? That'll be fun. I'm sorry for the plastic sound. That's annoying. It's a Captain Marvel beeper. I just thought this was cool. Did I intend to buy this? Do I have a use for it? No, but it lights up. Not that you can see the lights on this. You can't see it, but it, that pattern that you saw there, it lights up and it's super cool. And this was 70 Hong Kong dollars at Toys Beat, which is TNS. And on their website, they sell this for $70 US. What a ridiculous markup. As I said, I couldn't believe the difference in the prices with some of the stuff that I bought. But I thought I could incorporate this somehow into my Captain Marvel display. So I picked it up. I thought, what I use it for or don't use it for, I don't know, but it was super cheap. What does that work out to? It's like $9 US. And that's the thing. Things are so cheap that you just find yourself getting them because like, it's nothing. It's peanuts. We'll just buy it, and then you work out you've got to try to unpack, pack it all to get it home. So it is what it is. So, hello, Toy Collector. Big fan of travel type vlogs. Share it all for sure. Oh, looking forward to the videos. Thank you. Because I also found things like in Hong Kong, they have a comic. So they have the Avenue of Stars, which is very cool. Then they have the comic Avenue of Stars, which they weren't conventional comic characters that I guess we would know, but it was still really cool. So I did shoot some footage there because it was really close to Rebel Base. And I thought, oh, do I incorporate that in to say, hey, if you're going to Rebel Base, this is also close by. Maybe go have a look if you're looking for something to do. As I said, there was lots of cool stuff to see and do. I really enjoyed it. Had a great time. So, people know that I love Topo, and I was so stoked that one of the Kit Bash stores this is probably boring to people, but I was excited. They had the loose Topo business shirts that I online you can only get them at 1/6 Kit. So I was really surprised because I didn't see a lot of Topo stuff out there. But I went to a place called Toy Station, and they're in, I think it's Richmond Shopping Arcade. And they have like multiple shops within this same arcade. And the main arcade, they have the different business shirts. And this is the navy blue one. And I got this because I've got the Topo black suit for John Wick, and I feel like the Hot Toys John Wick 2 version has more of a navy blue shirt. So I got this as an option if I decide to swap out. So that's just a very, yeah, Topo business shirt. 95 Hong Kong dollars. It was, yeah, as I say, like most things, cheaper than what I'd seen for online. So that was cool. And Shuri's just joined me. You can see her right there, my little monkey. It was nice to be reunited with her. And then, no, I'll show you something else before I get to this. So, on the topic of kit bashing, I really like the Pop Toys XING female bodies, but finding the suntan skin tone with the little and mid bust, almost impossible. So I found some of these bodies. I don't have particular kit bashes in mind, but they were there and they were cheap and I can't find them. So they had 3 bodies. I bought 3 bodies. As I said, really great for kit bashing female characters. So bought them while I could because I knew it'd be the kind of thing that if I didn't get them, I would be annoyed with myself later on. Nice that you can find Topo elsewhere. I know, right? Like I didn't know what to expect, and as I said, that was the only shop I saw that had Topo items, and I think that was kind of interesting because brands that I feel like are probably well known to us, like Topo and So Toys, it felt like there was only very specific stores that had their stuff. They probably weren't as common in Hong Kong as I thought they would be. So that was interesting. I'm going to try to get through the boring stuff, or what I think is the boring stuff. So I also got this Pop Toys suit stand. These I think are like $50 US on like Big Bad Toy Store. There she is, my little rascal. 150 Hong Kong dollars. So I think I'm going to use this with my Captain Marvel display because I've got the leather jacket and I want to make a shield hat for her. And I would love that to be on her head, but I don't know if that's going to work because 6-scale baseball hats are tricky. And it was one of the things I was hoping to find on this trip. But I couldn't find a baseball hat that, yeah, I saw one and it looked so ridiculously small that I did not bother. So I can picture myself putting the leather jacket, and then if I can make this shield hat, I've got a hat that I'm feeling I could paint, and I've got the shield decal. So I feel like if nothing else, I can maybe display some Captain Marvel stuff on this and work it into the display. So this was interesting because I saw this in another store for a lot higher price. So that is the thing with Hong Kong. Like it does pay to kind of do a bit of a recce first, like to walk around and see different stores because the prices will vary greatly. Like other places I saw had this for way more than what I paid for it. So I was very happy to find one of these. So it was very cool. Bob loves the stands. I saw Bob's display made me want to get one of these stands because Bob's using one of these for the jacket and the hat of the Mars Toys Riddler, which I thought looked super cool. So I just thought it's one of those things that I feel like a handy accessory to have, and you can work it in almost any display. So was very happy to find this. So that is there. Oh, what am I doing? The Everyday Collector. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. I think we've got people in all time zones, which is so cool. We've got like US and Brazil and Europe, and I'm in Australia, so this is amazing. I'm so happy that so many people from different parts of the world are joining me to share in all the random stuff I bought from Hong Kong. So that's very cool. That's a cool stand. Been meaning to get a few, but I keep forgetting. Comes in handy for figures to have it. Yep, extra outfits cool. That's the thing, because I just have the leather jacket for Captain Marvel just like sitting in a drawer, and I'm like, do I think it's going to disintegrate one day? Absolutely. Would I like to enjoy it in the meantime? Yes, I would. So, yeah, I definitely want to use that. And I feel like if I found more for that price, I probably would have bought them, but just found one at that price. And then I ended up buying so many other things that I was like, okay, we need to calm down a little bit here. Were you able to negotiate any of the prices? I didn't try, to be honest, because I felt like everything was so cheap. And it's not really a very Australian thing to do, to haggle. So I didn't. I just shopped around, and there were certain things that, as I said, I just kept finding them at better prices, and I just took a note of who had things for the best price, and I went there. So yeah, could you have maybe if you bought a few things, but for me, I didn't feel the need to, because everything just felt really cheap and reasonably priced, particularly coming from Australia and how expensive things are here, either buying figures or even like, I love toy anxiety, but the exchange rate with Australia is a killer, as is the postage. So I'll give you an example. Hot Toys John Wick head sculpt. Hello. Are you going to focus for me, please? So I got this for like 400 Hong Kong dollars, which is, I think I tried to do the conversion somewhere. $80 Australian, 50 US. So I know this is currently on the Toy Anxiety website. Excuse me. I think they have it for like maybe 70 or 80 US. And by the time you add postage, it's probably going to be twice the price as what I got it for in Hong Kong. So yeah, the prices all seemed pretty well. So I just didn't, maybe I could have, maybe if I was paying cash, and I did pay cash for some things, maybe could have negotiated. I don't know. I was just so like, oh my God, buy all the things. I didn't even stop to think of that. The one thing I will say is, when you buy a head sculpt like this, they will literally go, here you go, here's your head sculpt. And I had to be like, oh, do you have like a plastic bag or some packaging that I could put this head sculpt in? So I eventually did get the little bag, but the one thing I would do, I'm not going to say when I go back, because I'm definitely going back to Hong Kong, is I would take some little packaging materials and maybe some like hard plastic containers. So I bubble wrapped everything, but then it would have been good to have some boxes and stuff to put things in. So I had to get creative and use things like my glasses case and whatnot to fit certain things in. But like, this is that's the legit, Hot Toys John Wick head sculpt that, my camera doesn't want to focus on. Why? Let us all enjoy Keanu Reeves. Yeah. So I was happy. I have a headless Keanu Reeves kit bash at the moment. I've given up hope on RCN Studios ever releasing their John Wick, because they provided an update, and the update was just nothing. Didn't even mention John Wick. So I saw this reasonable price, happily picked it up. But I didn't just buy one John Wick head sculpt. No, because I had a real what would Bob Dylan do moment. Because I saw about 4 different John Wick head sculpts. 2 might have been, see you, Shuri. 2 might have been recasts, because I looked at the hairline and it looked very pronounced and something was not quite right. But I did find this 11 head sculpt, 220 Hong Kong dollars, which I thought was very reasonable. Yeah. The cat. She's got a mind of her own. She's been very clingy since I got back. Bless her. So I missed my Shuri. We're like the United Nations collection. We are. That's what I love about online. Like I've met so many people from everywhere. I think that's so awesome. Did you end up sending a Marvel to Riley? No. Because Riley never messaged me back. So I was very disappointed. So like, they were practically giving away Captain Marvel figures in Hong Kong. Like, I think it was $815 for the end game and maybe $840 for the solo movie deluxe. And Riley, who Bob uses, I think is doing a Kree Captain Marvel suit, which I'm interested in, because how making that for me. So while I was in Hong Kong, I was kind of going, I can get Captain Marvel cheap. I could drop the figure off. Maybe that's something that I could do. But I messaged him on Instagram and Facebook, and I just didn't get a response. And then it was kind of at the end of my trip, and I was like, I haven't heard back from this guy. Like, I'm leaving. I don't really know what to do. So it didn't happen, unfortunately. But I mean, if he gets back to me, I'd love to have a chat to him about it, because I want to create Captain Marvel. I'm just going to have some water. Give me a tick. It's a lot of talking on your own. Head sculpt looks very decent. Let me get him out of the box. So the reason I got the 11 one is because it had, I hope this camera will focus, for the love of God, seriously, give me a break. It had the more slick back hair, which I really liked. So a little bit different from the Hot Toys one, and also it's a clean sculpt. So I've got the turtleneck version of the Topo suit and the black shirt suit version. And I just couldn't decide between the 11 and the Hot Toys. So as I said, that was my Bobby D moment. I said, what would Bob do? He'd buy all the things. So I bought all the things, and I'm very happy that I did. I think this 11 sculpt is really nice. I hope you guys can see it. As I said, I don't know why. I don't feel like this is focusing, so I'm sorry if it's not. I'm new to all this stuff. I'm used to just turning up and being a guest, and that's the interesting thing, like hosting a stream and doing it on your own, is you definitely appreciate how much goes into the mechanics of running a stream, because I did not realize. But it is what it is. On we go. Got one more head sculpt to show you guys, which might be a little bit topical, given one of the Hot Toys announcements that that we have. What have we got? We got some chat. 11 head sculpts. They are. I think that's the first standalone head sculpt that I've got. I've got the, I'm pretty sure, was it 11 and Vimmel who did the Jessica Jones and the Luke Cage figures? Like, I have those, and in particular the Luke Cage. I think that's one of the best third-party figures that I own. Like, it's a great likeness there. Did 11 go out of business? Haven't seen their products in a while. Yeah, I don't know, because they were one of the companies that was also teasing a John Wick around the time of the 4th movie, but nothing came of it. So I don't know what's happened to them. I'd love to know, because they, as I said, they've done some really nice stuff, but I feel like I haven't heard anything about them from ages. So I've got no idea. Always buy all the things. That was what I did, except when it came to the point where I did reach a point where there was another full figure I wanted to buy, and then I realized that I would have probably had to have bought excess luggage coming back, and at that point I was like, it's no longer viable to do that. So I did for the most part. I'm very proud of how much shopping I did. Yeah, great exchange. Thank you. Yeah, that's the thing with Hong Kong. Like, there were so many clothing sets and figures that were old that, like, you just thought they don't exist anymore. But no, they're just sitting in shops, probably on the ground in Hong Kong. Like, literally, I still couldn't get over how many just in-art boxes I just saw sitting on the ground in shops. It was crazy. Figure it out later. Oh, I can see. Okay, awesome. I'm glad, because I'm looking at it here, and I have old eyes now, so I don't know. I'm doing my best. The Luke Cage is amazing. It is. I picked it up secondhand. It took me over a year of hunting for it, and I felt very lucky when I finally found it, because I think it's amazing. And yeah, I know Toys Work did one, but I bought the Toys Work Jessica Jones, and it was probably one of the top 3 worst figures I've ever bought. So I would never buy a Toys Work thing again. So I was very happy to find it. Anthony Stanfield, hello. Just noticed you're streaming. Yes, I'm sharing all the stuff I bought in Hong Kong. And I've still got a ways to go, I feel. I still have quite a few things to show people. So I'll show the next head sculpt, because, as I said, this might be a bit timely and topical, given one of Hot Toys' announcement this week. So this was by Burning Soul. I don't know who Burning Soul are, but this is BS001B. And this is not for myself. This is something I bought on behalf of someone, because while I was away, I thought, I tried to hook people up. I tried to hook my friends up with things that I thought they would like. And I'm in Perth, and Iron Logan is in Perth, and he's a mate of mine. And when I saw a certain head sculpt, I messaged John to say, hey, Is this something you want? And it is Wade Wilson. He's there. He's there, unmasked Wade Wilson. And it was quite interesting because there was probably 3 different Wade Wilson head sculpts that I saw. Even with this one, there was one that was very red. I didn't really like that one. Like I'd said to John, I felt this one had a better skin tone to it. And then there was another one that came with a middle finger, which why wouldn't you? It's Deadpool. But yeah, this was really cool. So just funny that Hot Toys then announced finally a figure with an unmasked Deadpool head sculpt. So funny. I don't know who Burning Soul is or where they came from, but yeah, I just thought this was cool. And I know John's a huge Deadpool fan. So when I saw this, I just said, hey, let me know if you'd like one. And he said, yes, I would. So I picked that up for John, and I thought that was very cool. And unlike some head sculpts, the third-party ones actually come nicely packaged. So that was a nice bonus. Whereas, yeah, my Hot Toys one, it was like, oh, yeah, here you go. Because they literally just had a cabinet with just head sculpts, and they just take it out and hand it to you. And I had to be like, excuse me, can I have a bag? Which was funny. So, oh, let's all make sure we hit the like button for our friend Helen. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not a good spruiker of myself. So if you're enjoying it, hit a like. That would be great. I'd enjoy that. Yes, that Burning Soul weight is the best. Oh, you have one too. It's amazing. Haven't heard from Burning Soul in a minute either. Yeah, I'd never heard from it because you just have these cabinets with just head sculpts. And I find that sometimes, particularly if they're proper Hot Toy sculpts, they will put MMS number. So like with the John Wick, it had the MMS number. But the place that had the Wade Wilson head sculpt had the other 2 John Wick head sculpts that I saw. And I wasn't familiar with them. And even I sent a photo to Bob, and he was like, oh, I think they might be recast. And when I took a closer look, I was like, I think they might be as well. So that's the hard thing. And sometimes if you're like, oh, who made this? Like they'll say a brand, and sometimes you don't really understand what they've said. And I'm just like, oh, okay, thanks. And I'm just like, I don't know what you said, or like, I've never heard of that company. So, it is what it is. There's so much random stuff there. I even saw what I thought was really interesting was there was a Christian Bale head sculpt, but painted like the Joker. And I had a moment where I almost bought it because I was like, oh, you could put that on the imposter Joker. Wouldn't that be cool? And then I was like, oh, like, stop. You're just going a bit overboard with the shopping. But yeah, it was cool. That looks good. I got Tog. I don't know what that means. Oh, 2018. Is that how old that Deadpool sculpt is? But this is the thing, like, I saw, like, suit sets, third-party figures that were so old, like, even, a really old police Joker figure, which, again, I almost bought, because I thought it was a clothing set, but it was the whole figure, because the rifle, on mine, the strap is starting to go, so I kind of thought, oh, if this is a clothing set and it's at the right price, maybe I'll get it. But it was like a full figure, which I was like, again, I was like, I'm running out of space. And people did say, post stuff to yourself. But I don't know, because I'm an overthinker. I was like, I don't know anyone in Hong Kong. So if something happens and it's returned to sender, like, where does that go and what happens to it? Whereas, like, when I've been in the US and I've sent myself stuff, I'm like, I've got friends there. I can use their address. If something happens, the parcel goes back to them. Whereas I don't know anybody in Hong Kong. I don't know where my stuff's going to go. And I know that's a small chance, but I just would rather have had everything with me. What were the prices like over there? Reasonable? Crazy. So I was very lucky that when I went there, Toy Hunters had a sale. So Toy Hunters is sort of one of the hot toy stores where they just sell a lot more figures than what they do like at the other stores, but also they have a lot of Sideshow and other branded items. So they had 50% off down to like 20% off. So the figures I bought 3 Hot Toys figures for the price of what one would go for at the recommended retail price in Australia. And the third-party items I got, that I mentioned at the start of this video, I bought things like, this Captain Marvel beeper. I got this for 70 Hong Kong dollars from Toys Beat, which is TNS's physical store. They sell this for 70 US on their website. Like, that's how big the markup is. So I made a note of this. So 70 Hong Kong dollars is $9 US. And I understand they're building in postage, but that's still a crazy markup. There were so many scenarios where I saw their price in Hong Kong dollars and then I went to their website and I was like, you're literally charging US dollar price for a Hong Kong dollar price item. So it was just, yeah, I didn't realize how big the markup was. And I think that contributed to why Helen went a little bit crazy on all the shopping. That's insane and great buys. Yeah, I bought so much stuff I hadn't anticipated. I still got more to go. Bargain. Yeah, so many bargains. So this is another item I got, which is a quarter scale coat for the Hot Toys Joker. So this is a Daft Toys jacket. It actually fits a lot better than the Hot Toys one. It doesn't have the compartment in the jacket for the grenades, but I already have one of these and I had a local customizer do some weathering on it and it looks brilliant. But then I saw someone else dyed theirs sort of deeper color and I really liked that and I didn't want to dye the jacket I already had. So I picked this one up and so I'm thinking I will go back to that customizer and see if they can dye this one to make it a little bit darker and then weather it up for me as well. So this one was really good and I'm pretty sure this is another one that I got for a lot cheaper than what I've seen advertised on websites. So Joker jacket, another cool thing. This is something I bought loose. And again, I walked past it a few times and then I just, it got the better of me. So I found the diorama display base for the Pattinson Batman. And it was just so funny because it was in this shop. The railings parts weren't even connected to it properly. So I had to go through and find the bits and connect it all up. And this was like 150 Hong Kong dollars, which is like $30 Australian. It was just crazy. And I just thought, I have so much Dark Knight. I've got Batwoman. I just thought it would be a cool piece to have. So I didn't have anything specific in mind for it, but I just went, it's a cool base. I might use it in my Dark Knight display, like maybe the DX12. I can make that a bit more of a sort of centerpiece and have that standing on this. Or I'll do something else with it. I don't know. As I said, I just couldn't go past this for the price because this is the kind of thing that, again, I feel like if I was going to buy this on Toy Anxiety, I'd be paying more than $100 Australian. So $30, super cool. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I just love how modular it is. So I was able to just take apart all the bits, bubble wrap them individually, and get this home. So yeah, I just couldn't resist. I just think it's a really cool display piece. I had to get it and I could. And this was the thing, like I just saw so many random display bases, parts, pieces. Just as I said, I hope my videos do it justice. It was a bit tricky because so many shops had signs saying like no photography. But then you'd walk into the shops and like the people would just be watching like videos on their iPhones. So I'd try to very stealthily try to take photos and stuff. So I tried to document things as best as I could. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, absolute steal of a bargain. I couldn't walk past this. But I have a cooler diorama display base that I will show you guys a little bit later because it's a very unique piece that I'm very excited about. The more you spend, the more you save. It kind of felt that way. Reached the point at Toy Hunters where they were like, see you tomorrow. And I'm like, you probably will. So that was a lot of fun. Nice. I'm going to have to run, have a family stuff to do. That's fair enough. I'll catch the replay later. Thank you for doing this. It's very enjoyable. Thank you for dropping by, Carlos. It was so lovely to have you live. You're always the first person to comment on Collectors Unite. So it's very lovely to have you live. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you'll catch up with the stream and let me know what you think of the haul. I'm pretty excited by everything that I got. Wow, we've been going for almost 50 minutes. I still have a few things to show off still, but I'm going to take a bit of water, so apologies, 2 ticks. So what should I show you guys next? I'm going to show you guys something that's not 6 scale. That's totally random. But this was the influence of Hong Kong. So that's the way it is. 50 minutes, that's not... Well, I mean, I kind of feel like it is when I'm nattering on to myself. But I've discovered doing these solo streams that I can talk. So off we go. I got suckered into Lego. I don't own Lego, but I love Super Mario Brothers, and I know this bad boy is sold out in Australia, and I saw this in so many stores, and all I kept thinking was, this would be the coolest thing to use in my house as an indoor plant. Like, for people to think, oh, it's a toy, but me like, no, that's my indoor plant. Like seriously treat it like it's an indoor plant. I'd contemplated taking it to my office when I go back to work on my desk, but I don't trust someone's not going to mess with it or steal a piece, and that would upset me. So this was long sold out in Australia. You can't find it. I had actually seen this on a Facebook page for a local business here that specializes in like vintage video games, and I thought it was cool. So this was like 350 Hong Kong dollars, which I think is about $70 Australian. I think that puts it at about 50 US. But again, this was a case of shopping around because I got this for 350 and other shops had it for different prices, higher prices. So I think the thing that surprised me with a lot of the malls was how big Lego was. Like, Lego was huge, a lot of smaller things, anime things, a lot of plushy things. But yeah, I got suckered into this, and the thing that kind of excited me and broke my heart at the same time was in Hong Kong airport, there was like this store that just had Super Mario plushy things. My first cat name was Bowser. Like, I love Super Mario. I love Bowser. So I'm a sucker for Bowser merch. And they had like plush Bowsers. They had plush piranha plants. They had the portholes, like plush portholes, every Mario character. And I swear, if my luggage wasn't already matched, like literally I was so paranoid that Singapore was going to be like, I'm sorry, you have too much carry-on luggage. I would have gone nuts at the Super Mario plushie store. Like, it would have gotten me. But I got this and I was super happy that I found it. So this gives me something to do. And there's a Shuri safe place in my kitchen that I think is where I'm going to put this. So yeah, not 6 scale, but as I said, I got suckered in. This is not the start of Helen Lego Adventures. It's just very deliberately, I just thought this would make a really cool, somewhat ironic house plant in what is otherwise a very serious house. I try to limit all my collectibles to this room. But yeah, I just couldn't help it. I knew this was rare and sold out and something I couldn't get in Australia, so I took advantage while I could. So great fun 50 minutes so far. Oh, and thanks for the participation coming up. Even it's better, don't stop. Thank you. I think I'm going to save the custom thing I bought for last because I do think that's super cool, and I think it's something that maybe people haven't seen. So I'm very excited to show people that. So Lego, it's my one random, not 6 scale thing that I got. More comments. Blurred Dad Life. Hi, Helen. Hope you had a great trip. I had an amazing trip. Like, seriously. I would recommend Hong Kong to people as a holiday destination. Like, it's so easily accessible. Like, the trains, everything is in Chinese and English. Even like menus at restaurants. And actually, that's a really good barometer. If the menu's not in English and Chinese, like, you know, you're probably going to be in a hard time. But I had like the Google Translate app on my phone. So if there was, this is going to sound silly, but I wanted to buy some Kit Kats for work because we have a snack bar. And like when I went to the US, I bought items that we don't have in Australia. So in Hong Kong, I wanted to get some Kit Kats that we don't have in Australia. And the packaging was in Chinese. So I got the Google Translate app and you just hover your camera over the packaging and it translates the writing for you. So it was very easy to get around. I was just, yeah, I was surprised as someone who does not speak Chinese, never has, getting around. Everything was so easy. lot of cool things to see and do outside of all the figure stuff. So I'm definitely keen to go back. Funny, actually building June Lego while watching the stream. That's cool. How big is June Lego? Because I was surprised at how many pieces are in this. Like, I didn't think this would be very complex. And then somewhere it said, yeah, 540 pieces. I'm like, oh, okay. That'll be interesting because I can't remember the last time I did anything Lego. So yeah, I don't know, how many pieces is your June? Because I know some of those Lego things are just pretty huge and pretty epic. But yeah, starting off small, and I say that's going to be my last Lego. But even like, they had so many little individual Lego characters, and that's again where I had to be like, no, you are not buying all these little Lego characters of different things. Like, focus on what you're here for. Lego is great. Well, I hope I still feel the same way after I put that piranha plant together. I don't know how that's going to go. The Greek Rage might come out. Jemima, hello. That's awesome. I love a piranha. Me too. And if I had room in my luggage, I would have bought the plush one as well. Like, I would have probably taken that one to work and then left the Lego one at home. So we'll see. We'll see. Almost 1,400. Wow. I don't know that I have the patience. That's like triple almost what I have. So let's get into some Hot Toy stuff. It's funny, when I set all this up, some of it could be seen and I was like, oh, don't want that. So maybe this is very nerdy, but I love some branded merch. And I was pleasantly surprised that the Hot Toys hats were available at all of their stores. So they had both this one, which is the Hot Toys logo, and then there's another one that has the movie Masterpiece series logo on. So I got this one, really cool. They're New Era hats. New Era make great hats. I've got quite a few of them. Basic hat just has the Hot Toys logo and the New Era logo. And I think they're not that easy to get. And I bought it because I could. Will I wear it? Probably not. I need to probably think of where I'm going to put it, and maybe I'll display it in some way. With some other Hot Toys branded merch that I got, which I would be keen to hear what you guys think about. So, hat, very cool. Still very easily accessible in Hong Kong. So, the other branded merch they had Hot Toys keyring, which again, I'm probably not going to use. It's very big, but it's metal, so pretty high quality. And just bought it because I could. Or it was the key rings and the other stuff I'm about to show were really reasonably priced, so I couldn't help myself. I picked this up. So again, I might do some little Hot Toys display with the hat. And then they had some Hot Toys pins, which I thought was really cool. So they had a Hot Toys pin. They have a Rebel base pin. They have a Secret base pin. And let me see if I can hold these all up together. And a Toy Hunters pin. So that's the full set of 4 pins they had available. Like, I did ask if they had an Echo base pin, but they didn't. And I even asked again at Echo base, and the guy said, no, sorry, these pins were made before our store actually opened. So I bought these pins, and I have a spare set of pins. And I wondered, do people have an interest in these pins? Would these be something that I could do as like a channel giveaway? Like, I thought that would be cool. Like, it's a cool little thing to have. As I said, you've got Secret Base, Toy Hunters, Rebel Base, Hot Toys. Really nice metal pins. And I kind of thought they're unique. I didn't even know these existed. I don't know if other people knew these existed. I didn't. And I thought they'd be easy to post because they're not particularly big. So if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, let me know. Do you have in these? And should I give away this set as a channel giveaway? Because I haven't done one. And I'm, much to my amazement, I'm at something like 1,700 and something subs, which is still crazy to me. Do I know what I'm doing on YouTube? No. So maybe maybe we do a giveaway. Maybe we do it at some kind of a milestone, or I do it as a Christmas thing. I don't really know, but I thought these were cool. And as I say, I picked these up. I got another set for someone as a gift. You know who you are. But yeah, absolutely loved these. And I got a key ring, but the pins are what I've got a spare set of. So let me know in the comments or the chat, what do you think? Hot Toys pins, are they of interest? Would you like me to give them away on the channel? Let me know. Keith Lee, hello. Good morning, evening, joining late. Can you please start from the beginning? My goodness, if you could see my desk and how much stuff is like piled over there, I don't know that the people that are soldiered on want to hear me natter on for repeat that first hour. But it's been a lot, and I have talked a lot about the price difference, which I expected some kind of like markup, but my goodness, some of the markups were crazy. I think I'm down to like my last 4 things, but I feel like they're big ticket items, everyone. See, I'm so organized. I put everything in a box so I could, but now that system's just gone out the window because it is what it is. I want a Hot Toys pin. How much were they? These pins were like 50 Hong Kong dollars, which is like $10 Australian. So really reasonably priced because, as I said, they're metal. They're not plastic. They're metal. So I thought super cool. Did they have them at Secret Base? I can't remember. Secret Base had, it was just overwhelming. Secret Base had just like a lot of random stuff I wasn't expecting. Like they had a lot of like Deadpool and Wolverine like stickers and lanyards and random stuff like that. Whereas when I went to Rebel Base, I feel like the logo merch kind of stood out a little bit more. Oh my god, they also had a Neon Tech Iron Man umbrella. Like, I'm not joking. It was just like, oh my god, they're really committed to Neon Tech. And again, this was one of the things that I almost bought it, like, ironically, to then use my Neon Tech Iron Man umbrella, but I was like, I don't think anybody in Perth is going to understand what that means. But yeah, as I said, saw them, thought they were cool, and yeah, because they were so well priced, I got a spare set just thinking, I don't know. But, and then, as I said, I thought, oh, maybe channel giveaway would be a fun thing to do. Sweet. Definitely interested. Okay, people are interested. Okay, that's cool. Sweet idea. Because I wasn't sure, because I know some people collect pins, but I was like, is that a widespread thing? Isn't it? Yes. Thumbs up. Everyone loves it. Great. Okay. This sounds like it's a winning idea. Forget the giveaway. Tell me how much for the Hot Toys pin. God, if I knew they'd be so popular, I would have bought more sets than I did. But I'm a completionist, so I had to buy like complete sets. Yeah. So, okay. It sounds like people are liking the pins, so I'll have a think about how we will do the giveaway. But yeah, okay. I'm committing. I will give away a set of metal Hot Toys pins. Very cool. So you got Secret Base, Toy Hunters, Hot Toys, Rebel Base. Maybe they make an Echo Base one day. It is what it is. Do it. Do it, Hot Toys. Do it, Howie. Now I know where Howie lives. Like the office, not lives. But now I know where their office is. So if I go back, I'm seriously gonna like, I'll probably get arrested, but also I'm like, maybe I'll hang out there for a day. See if I see Howie. Wouldn't that be cool? I would love a pin. Yeah, on backpack. Yeah, that's the thing. I just thought, I don't know how I'll do it, but I feel like I'll do some kind of little Hot Toys display with the hat and the pins and stuff like that. Like, I think that would be cool. Give me the pins, Helen. I agree. Yeah, don't worry. We'll give away a set. But yeah, I'm pretty sure all 3 of their stores had them, which was very cool. So I'm going to take another sip of water before we wrap things up with what I'm going to call my 4 big ticket items. I'll be with you in a tick. All right. So, my goodness, I had no idea that Toy Hunters had this sale on. So when I went into the store, and it's interesting because it's not a very big store by any stretch. And you kind of walk in, and one side is like all the Sideshow other brand stuff, and one side is just like a mess of Hot Toys boxes. So they had tons of like Star Wars figures, Marvel figures. They had a Dark Knight Rises Catwoman that was, I think, 30% off, and that was like 270 Australian dollars, and that was a very hard one to walk away from. I had that on my mind, and then it's like, oh, InArt's making one, and then I'm like, but InArt sucks, and that'll take 38 years. So I didn't get it because like the head sculpt and all that stuff. So I didn't get it. They had like the Jane Foster, which is another figure I'm interested in. They had that for like 300 Australian dollars. Even the Love and Thunder Thor was like on sale. They still had heaps of older figures. Like I was surprised they still had things like Nebula available. They had the, not at Toy Hunters, but at, I think it was Echo Base, they had like the Wakandan throne. Like you can still find so many things in stock in Hong Kong through the official stores. But then there's so many shops that sell figures as well. But I wanted to buy things that were new, and I was really surprised. So many of the shops actually sell used Hot Toys, and there was crazy prices. Like we're talking 500-600 Hong Kong dollars for like used Endgame Thor or Team Suit Tony or Sylvie. Like Sylvie figures were so cheap, even new. I feel like they were just giving Sylvie figures away. It was just crazy to me. Carl Goodwin, going to catch the replay. Oh, good. Thank you for saying hello. I appreciate it. Whoever's around, drop a like in the spirit of what Carlos said earlier. Likes are great, would be appreciated. So I walked into Toy Hunters and I kind of was like, okay, I was drawn to the Marvel shelf, and they had Captain Marvel figures for dirt cheap. And as I say, there was temptation, even though I have all the Captain Marvel figures. But the first figure I got, which is something I've wanted for a while, but sadly I feel like it's going to become a bargain bin figure, which is why I've held out. But I never thought I'd get it for the price I got it for. So the first figure is Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop was 50% off, and I think it was something like 840 Hong Kong dollars, which is like 160 Australian or 110 US. Like, it's crazy to me. Like this culture is like 430 Australian dollars. And this is brand new. No shipper boxes because they're not a thing in Hong Kong. Who cares? I just wrapped it up in a bunch of bubble wrap. But I was like stoked because this is one that I thought at some point pop culture is going to reduce her in price. I'll use some reward points to bring it down. Because pop culture's just gone nuts with the discounts. Like, you've got figures like Shang-Chi and Wenwu for like 199 Australian dollars. And then today they just have put on their website that you can take a further 15% off the price of their, what do they call it? Like Space Hoggers sale. So things that are, so like a 199 figure, you can take a further 15% off. And they've discounted some really recent Hot Toys, like even like the Wolverine, like the 1973 Wolverine's discounted. So many things that are not that old in releases have already been discounted. But this is insane, like $165 for a brand new inbox figure. Like, I've never bought a Hot Toy for this cheap ever. Like, this was crazy to me. And I've got to think that, like, surely they're not losing money on this. So it goes to show, like, how much do these cost to produce? Like, the markup's crazy. And I mean, I knew for Australia, we've got the disadvantage of the stuff goes to Sideshow. Sideshow then sends it to our Australian distributor. They're called Icon Collectibles. And they say they're not, but they're kind of the same company as Pop Culture. Then it goes to Pop Culture. So we're getting that markup a couple of times, but 430. And I got this for 165, brand new in Hong Kong. I was stoked. I've wanted this for a while. I want to Kit Basher Stealthy Elena. I don't know if I've mentioned that. And and I want to pair that with Kate Bishop. So this was super exciting. And it was the only one they had on the shelf. So I was very happy that I found Kate Bishop. I bought her. Absolute no-brainer. So this was actually the first thing I bought in Hong Kong, because after I went to Secret Base, we went to Toy Hunters because it's literally around the corner from Secret Base. So the first thing I bought in Hong Kong, Kate Bishop, totally stoked to have this in the collection. So she's here. I'm happy. Another Shiro. I love the Shiros. Yeah, right. The prices, it was insane. That's a really good steal. That's not so cheap for Kate Bishop. That's a great figure count. Thank you. And it's funny because when I went to Toy Hunters on Saturday, it was not that long after they opened, so it was pretty cruisy. I went back on the Sunday evening to buy this next figure, and it was like some Hunger Games stuff. Like, there was so many people like grabbing at figures, trying to get figures. I saw people with like, I don't know if IKEA have those huge blue shopping bags. People had brought those bags with them, and they had like 5 and 6 like Star Wars figures in them. Like, people were going nuts. And this next figure I saw wasn't there when I went there on Saturday. So I feel like they were bringing stuff across all the time. And I had been to Rebel Base, and I saw this. And this was the odd thing, like, different shops had different sales. So Toy Hunters had the 50% off, but then prices were different at Echo Base and Rebel Base. And I didn't understand how they could all be Hot Toy stores and all have different prices. That's something that was a bit perplexing to me. So yeah, definitely do that bit of a walk around first to get a baseline of prices, because you can save a lot of money just by doing a walk around like I did. Oh man, if you go next time, I may order Bishop from you. I'm writing in Sideshow for my waitlist. It's in stock at Pop Culture. Kate's still there. So, and as I said, I have a feeling that's going to be a reduced price figure, because I just think because she doesn't have a companion piece, and sadly the female figures don't sell as well. So I would maybe hedge your bets on Pop Culture, because as well, Aussie dollar sucks, so works well for people overseas. Great prices, yeah. Lost signal. Oh, hope you're back. Hope that wasn't me. Was it me? I hope not. Oh, hi. We're back. Did they let you unbox it for a quick inspection before you buy it? They kind of just took the they just kind of lifted the sleeve up and let me look at it. It all looks fine. It was brand new figure. I could see it was all sealed. So, maybe silly of me, I just went, yeah, I can see it. It looks fine. And I took it away. So, with the next figure I got, I did kind of proactively do that. When I bought Kate, the woman at the checkout sort of lifted it up and let me have a sort of look through there. But I don't know that they'd let you physically open it. And I guess that's where I was a bit nervous about other boxed figures. Like, there was a CW Flash that I saw for around 200 Australian dollars, which I was very tempted by. But I just didn't know how the suit would have held up in the humidity of Hong Kong. And also, I'm saying that as I got like a really cheap Endgame Captain Marvel from Toys Buying Agent. And I've just noticed that suit is not holding up as well as the one that I bought at release. So I feel like the conditions in Hong Kong can affect those figures. So I didn't pull the trigger on that one, because that was also just like an independent shop that I was like, I don't know that I've got any recourse here if something happens to it. So, did you find any cool pieces for kit bashing out there? The whole start of this stream was kit bashing pieces, Keith. I bought a lot of kit bashing stuff. I bought different kinds of accessories. I bought head sculpts. I'm pretty sure like the first 50 minutes of this stream is kit bashing stuff. So, watch the replay. Was it signals good? Great, because Keith's one of the people that I think persevered through my first stream, which was very choppy. So, people saying this is coming through better. Okay, this gives me confidence that we can do this. We can stream in the future. How did you hold up with the humidity? Yeah, it wasn't too bad, Anthony. I was kind of told November is a good time to go because it's not as humid. So it was quite interesting. During the day, was less humid than the night, which surprised me. So during the day was very comfortable. Where I was a lot of the time was sort of I guess near water, where like sort of Victoria Harbour is. So yeah, it was pretty pleasant, to be honest. There was a couple of days where there were some typhoon warnings, and on those days it definitely did feel like the weather was a bit muggier. And then at night it was a little bit muggy, but it was fine. I think the weather was sort of maybe sort of like 27, 28 degrees most days. The nighttime was still quite warm, but I kind of, walking around in jeans and a t-shirt felt pretty comfortable. I just kind of kept a rain jacket on me as well, just in case, because when that typhoon warning was out, it did start raining a little bit. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. But as I said, I feel like that's a bit to do with the time that I went, because I can imagine in summer it being a lot worse. But yeah, it was kind of interesting to me that the nighttime felt more humid than during the day. But everywhere was super air conditioned, like the subway trains, every building, like they blast that aircon like something else. So I literally was glad I had a jacket with me most times, because I'd be sitting in like a cafe or a restaurant and I'm like, I'm freezing. Like I need to put this jacket on. Otherwise I'm going to be drinking like 25 liters of the tea to keep myself warm. So it wasn't too bad. It felt okay. Okay, I'll catch yeah. As I said, I don't think people want me to start at the beginning and the way I've got things piled up. But I bought some good head sculpts. I've bought some different accessories for some specific kit bashes I'm doing. I bought some random stuff. Yeah, I bought a lot of things. It was quite a haul. Did you enjoy some street food vendors? I didn't do street food. I wasn't brave enough. I had some great food though. My goodness. The dim sum was great. I had condensed milk toast, which I didn't really know that was a thing. Christian told me about it. And I enjoyed it so much. And then I noticed they had peanut butter condensed milk toast, and I went back for that, and that was so stupidly decadent but delicious. I tried goose, because a lot of people had said to me, when you go there, try roast goose. So I had roast goose, I had never had that before. I had some really great Peking duck. That was nice. It was funny because where I was staying, there wasn't really street vendors, but when I went to Mongkok, where a lot of the figure shopping was, you definitely saw that with the street markets and the street vendors and things like that. I just, yeah, I wasn't brave enough. It is what it is. I'm like, I'm a long way from home. If something goes wrong, I'm not having a fun time in a hotel by myself. So yeah, I didn't do that. But I had, yeah, some amazing food. I went to a place, I think it was called Duck Victoria, and I got this vegetable dish, which I think was like the prettiest plate of food I have ever seen. It was like purple cabbage, purple like cauliflower, and it had like candied walnuts and amazing things. So yeah, food was great. I really enjoyed the food in Hong Kong. I think the one thing that kind of, and this is probably showing, Western girl, the eating the same food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like I did reach a point where I was like, I need like some Western breakfast foods. I have to very embarrassingly admit, I did go to Macca's or McDonald's and have like a Western breakfast, which in itself was interesting. Like it was so much cheaper than going to like a McDonald's in Australia. And they had iced coffee with coconut milk, which was delicious. So yeah, yeah, the condensed milk toasts were great. The dim sum was great. Oh, she's back. Shuri's back to cause a ruckus. So, yeah, it was good food. Did you have bubble tea? How was it? I found it weird they don't provide you with napkins. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you, Shuri. I don't know if you heard her cry, but this is what tripped me out. I feel like everywhere I went, there was only 2 establishments that provided me with napkins, and I couldn't believe that one place was like, oh yeah, we'll sell you a packet of tissues for $3. So I was really grateful that I'm the kind of person that I always have tissues on me. Always have tissues on me. It's just the way I am. So I was very grateful for that, but I think it was Duck Victoria, which is, you know, a nice restaurant, and I hope I'm getting this right, Din Tai Fung, I hope that's what it's called, which was a really nice dumpling place. They were the only two places in 8 days that gave me a napkin. And I just didn't understand. I was like, why don't you have napkins? Why is this not a thing? The thing that surprised me as well was I didn't feel like I saw a lot of bubble tea in Hong Kong, which surprised me because in Australia, bubble tea is like everywhere. It's prolific. But I didn't really feel like I saw a lot of bubble tea and people drinking bubble tea. But yeah, I don't know what's the napkin thing. The thing I thought was really cool was at the restaurants, a lot of the tables have a drawer you slide out. And that's where they have like the cutlery and the condiments. And I didn't know that. Like I had to see other people pulling out the drawer. And I'm like, oh my, I thought that was so clever. I've never seen that before. The table, you pull out the drawer and they have knives, forks, chopsticks. I thought that might have been where the napkins were, but they weren't. No napkins. So why? Why don't they have napkins in Hong Kong? Like, can someone explain this to me? But yeah, as I said, I always have like tissues in my pocket, little travel packets of tissues, which came in so incredibly handy. But I just didn't understand, like, why don't they use napkins? I don't know. Sorry, Lake Joanna, have you been on holidays? Yeah, I went to Hong Kong. I'm showing off all the stuff I bought, which was a lot because I've been going for, God, an hour and 20 now. I did a lot of shopping. I literally had to buy a rolling suitcase for carry-on luggage because I bought so much stuff. Yeah, so a lot of shopping, a lot of Hong Kong. I had chicken feet, but there's not much meat on those skinny toes, and they still have the nails on them, which is a bit gross. Yeah, I've had dim sum a few times here, and a friend of mine is big on the chicken feet, and I just can't get over the look of it. I just can't. But I had some really great dumplings over there, and stuff I hadn't experienced before here in Australia. Nails on the toes. No, I can't. Yeah, no, me neither. I can't do it. Totally understandable. When I was there over a decade ago, after a few days, I had to get some McDonald's and Starbucks, which is much more. Yeah. And I guess this was the thing that surprised me. I was surprised how many McDonald's there were. There was tons of McDonald's. And I guess what surprised me was I didn't really see many other fast food places. Like, I think the whole time I was there, I maybe saw like one Pizza Hut. But McDonald's was prolific, and Starbucks as well. And what made me laugh was like, on the Avenue of Stars, you've got like the awesome Bruce Lee statue, and right behind him is Starbucks. And I'm like, well, if that doesn't say East meets West, I don't know what does. But yeah, I was just, I'm just so used to breakfast, lunch, and dinner being different kinds of food, and I do my best to immerse myself. And the same thing happened to me when I went to Kuala Lumpur. Like, I reached a point where I was like, I can't do noodles or rice for breakfast. Like, I need something Western. I didn't go to Starbucks though. I was a bit over Starbucks from the US. But the Mac Cafe, the iced lattes with the coconut milk, that was delicious. I could get around those being a thing in Australia. They were very good. But yeah, with the dim sum though, like, they're not really a thing in Australia, but they had these coconut buns that were really like pillowy, delicious coconut flavored things. And then they had a thing called a ginger ale cake, which texturally was just like hard to describe. It was kind of not really a cake. It was more like chewy, but it had an amazing ginger flavor. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I tried to eat as much local stuff as I can, but for breakfast sometimes I'm like, I need coffee and something very Western. So yeah, I did it. I don't have regrets. Yes, toenails. Oh, yeah, no, the chicken feet are not for me. Very nice. But you brought home lots of figures. I brought home a lot. I showed my first figure. Should we get back on track? So recap, Kate Bishop, 50% off at Toy Hunters for 165, I think, Australian dollars, 110 US. That was my first figure purchase. total steal. She's $430 at Pop Culture. So, incredible. My mum orders and eats chicken feet when we go to dim sum. I could never do it. Yeah, I can't get over the look of it. Like, even in the shops, like, they would have the roast meats and they would have pigeon, which, like, both my parents are of Greek descent. And she would talk about them eating pigeon, but that's not a thing in Australia. And then you would see the pigeons and the thing in the window, and that's something I'm not used to. I'm very used to seeing the ducks and things like that. But yeah, it was interesting to see some of the different stuff that they had in Hong Kong. So some great Chinese pastry places you could hit up for breakfast. I had a really nice pineapple bun, because I feel like we have some of that stuff here, but it's not the same quality as there. Like, the pineapple bun I had over there was just amazing. But the thing I found was I felt like a lot of the coffee at the cafes was like instant and not like espresso coffee, which is fine. I can live. But yeah, the condensed milk toast, it was so good. The one with the peanut butter was amazing, but it was so rich. I definitely feel like that's the kind of thing you're better off sharing with someone. That was not a grown-up choice, but I have no regrets. So let's get back to the figures. So we're down to the last three things. So thanks for hanging in with me, guys. So I went back to Toy Hunters on Sunday and they remembered me. They said, welcome back. I said, thank you. And I saw a figure that I hadn't, No, I haven't showed the diorama yet. I'm saving that for last because that's unique and cool. So that's going to be my showstopper that I end the stream on. So you haven't missed that yet, Keith. So I realized that there was another Shiro I really wanted that I hadn't even thought of, but I don't think was there at Toy Hunters when I went on Saturday. So I do feel like they were bringing new figures in all the time. And when I walked in on Sunday, it was maybe 6 or 7 o'clock at night. It was pandemonium. People were reaching for boxes, grabbing for boxes. I saw the object I wanted and someone else had it in their hand. And with every fiber of my being, I'm like, put down the box. And as soon as they did, I grabbed it. And I was like, I'm not letting this go because this is royalty. This is King Valkyrie. This is another figure that was 165 Australian dollars, 110 US, 50% off. Like, this figure has not been out for that long. And it was already 50% off. Like, I could understand the older figures like Nebula, the Captain Marvels, things like that. But they had so many figures that had not been out for that long that were heavily discounted. So this costs $470 Australian at Pop Culture. And I got it for $165. So this is the thing that blew my mind. Like, 3 figures I bought in Hong Kong for the price of what one would be at a recommended retail price in Australia, which is now hovering at $500 and more in some cases. Like, you want like an Iron Man figure that has die-cast parts, you're probably looking at $700 in Australia. So I was stoked to pick this up. I have the Thunder Toys Valkyrie in my A-Force display, and as much as that's the more accurate suit, everything else in that display is a Hot Toy. So I was like, I need King Valkyrie. I need Hot Toys quality Valkyrie in my display. I'm trying to get this without reflection. There we go. That's the better side to hold her up on. And I couldn't believe it. This was the only one they had. I'm pretty sure it was a grandma. There were grandmas at Toy Hunters. Like, there were older people. And I was like, are you seriously buying these for yourself, or are you here on behalf of someone? I don't know. But as soon as that person put this box down, I grabbed it. And it was like, I will fist fight anybody who tries to take Valkyrie off me. Like, she's coming home with me. And she did. So I was stoked. This was on my wish list. This was one I wanted. So again, this was one where I felt like, because Love and Thunder wasn't that popular, I was like, I can picture this being a reduced price figure at Pop Culture. And if it sort of came down into the 300 mark, I would have swooped. But yeah, I just couldn't believe the price I got this for. It was insane. And even at Toy Hunters, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, so many figures. And even when I went to pay for this, the guy was like, "Oh, do you want to buy a Doc Ock?" And I was like, "Oh, like, is like, do you have that many of them?" I felt like they were asking people, like, "Oh, do you want to buy a Doc Ock? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy that?" So there's a lot of Marvel figures that I feel like are overstocked in Hong Kong. There was like WandaVision figures. I'm pretty sure there was like Multiverse of Madness figures as well being discounted. The Jane Foster and the Thor from this movie, I think, were in the 30% off category. Like Jane Foster was 300 Australian. And I really thought about that. Particularly because I saw someone did a cool, they took the skirt off the Jane Foster figure and just had it with the pants. And I thought it looked incredible. So Jane Foster and Catwoman was like reduced to 270 Australian. They were hard to walk away from. Like I really thought about those and I just was like, no, they weren't on your list. Let's focus. Let's fill in gaps of what we want. So getting Valkyrie for my A-Force, I was so stoked about. So very happy. It was the only one that was there when I went to Toy Hunters. And even when I went the next day, they didn't have another one. And it was the same with Kate Bishop. There was a Kate Bishop on the Saturday. Didn't see them restock her. Valkyrie the next day, didn't restock her. And it was funny because they just had boxes everywhere. And at the entrance, there was boxes, like the big outer boxes, like not the individual shipper boxes. Because I was looking for Bane and it was like the Bane. And I was like, is that boxes of Bane? And he's like, no, it's not Bane. It's just the box. It's just the box. And I'm like, are you sure? He's like, it's just the box. It's just the, like, I think they got a bit scared of me by the end. But yeah, I was surprised. Crazy prices. So let me catch up on the chats. Yelena was discounted. Like, you had so many figures that were on discount. I took a video at Toy Hunters, so that will be one of part of one of my videos. So I think I'll have about 5 videos. I did a tour of Secret Base. I did Echo Base, Rebel Base. I did sort of a walkthrough of the different malls because I feel like different malls will suit different collectors. And then I have another video which I'm really excited about. It's a little bit of an exclusive special thing which relates to the custom diorama that I'll show at the end. So, yeah, Yelena, the Black Widows, so many things were on discount. It was crazy. Yep, that was there. So many figures. Time to renew my passport, right? I just don't know. Is this sale something that they do every November? That's what would be interesting because so many people were like, oh, did you know that sale was on? I was like, I had no idea. Like, I booked a trip to Hong Kong. I picked that date and I walked into Toy Hunters and they're like, oh, great news. That wall's 50% off. That thing's this one. The only annoying thing with Toy Hunters is things are not always labeled with a price. So you always had to ask, do you have this? Do you have that? But they still had, tons of Endgame Thanos, tons of Endgame Hulk, lots of figures, lots of Marvel figures, lots of Star Wars figures as well. I was quite surprised at how much Marvel and Star Wars stuff they had. Crazy prices, awesome fun. Yeah, that's how I felt. Absolutely. Valkyrie, nice. I feel like you need to find her a Pegasus. The Pegasus would take up the entire width of that shelf. So, yeah, but also my diorama base that I bought, I think is going in that shelf. So there's Shuri. She's back to cause a ruckus. What are you doing? Shuri? She's a monkey. She's going to be in trouble later. Dang. Law Kitchen's great. I don't know. But you know what was funny? Like, they had that 50% off Toy Hunters sale. And then KG Hobby posted these, like, Black Friday sale prices. And I was like, did you get this stuff from Toy Hunters and now you're... I don't know. This is purely a theory and it could just be a coincidence. But I have a feeling you could have bought a bunch of stuff from Toy Hunters and still sold it at a markup and made a profit and still had people outside of Asia feel like they were getting great deals. So purely speculative on my part, but I did wonder when I saw the KG Hobby Black Friday sale if some of that stuff came from Toy Hunters. You need Jane Foster. I know. It's space because I keep debating. I'm debating doing another garage shelf cabinet because a lot of people have been like, Avengers, why? And I'm like, why not? But then I've started this 89 to 97 line. And if that gets as big as what some people are talking as far as, Hot Toys has shown, Batman and Robin from the movie of the same name, Jazz Inc. is talking about doing all these figures, it's going to be too much for there. So does that move there? And then I've got a whole sort of wall space there that I'm thinking of doing another garage shelf cabinet. And if I do that, then I could go back to my idea of doing like the Shiro shelf, which is something I really wanted to do. So maybe, but this was my dilemma because I don't want to buy figures that I don't have somewhere immediately that I can display them. I don't like this idea of, I've got friends here who buy stuff and, oh yeah, I opened it and then I had to put it up in, the attic or in storage or whatever. And I'm just like, I don't ever want to buy stuff that I can't display and enjoy. So maybe that's a right way, maybe that's a wrong way, I don't know, but I feel like eventually I would like to have Jane Foster in my collection. Are you going to head down the Batman 22 line? I haven't as yet because it's just Batman at this stage. If they had done a Selena Kyle as well, like if Hot Toys had done, Pattinson and Selena Kyle, I would have been very tempted. But for now, I'm resisting. I think I loved the penguin though, and there was a big part of me that was like, oh, should I get the Mars Toys penguin? But again, I'm really mindful of not starting lines if I don't have where to display them. So possibly. I also really love Sophia Falcone, Gigante, however you want to call her. She was amazing. Absolutely loved her. So I haven't as yet, but who knows? But yeah, I try to think about it before I just start buying stuff because space is always the issue. Can you recommend a hotel to stay at? Look, I'll cover this in my vlog because I liked the area I stayed in, but the hotel I stayed in, I probably wouldn't stay there again just because the walls were very thin and I'm a rubbish sleeper. And I had a couple of occasions where the people next door to me were not very quiet. I had to be that person one night because it was like 1:30 a.m. and these people were like speaking with outside voices. And I had to ring up the front desk and be like, hey, I cannot sleep. I have earplugs in. These people have been like shouting forever. And it was so funny because I couldn't understand what the hotel employee said to these people, but the tone very much, and I didn't hear them again. So, I don't want to mispronounce the area, but I will put that in my Hong Kong shopping vlog because I also want to include some just general information to help people visiting Hong Kong for the first time because there was a few things that I picked up on that I thought it would be useful to share in addition to just the general go to this mall, go to that mall. So I'll include that there. But yeah, I have to be careful of pronunciation because I'm always worried that I'll say something wrong and it'll then mean something offensive and who knows. I see you have the in-art Joker. Are you going to get the new Hot Toys Joker? I am. And you know what? That was the amazing thing. When I walked into Secret Base for the first time, they had just released the Jokers and I got to see them in person. Like you first walk in and you've got the display cabinet where they've got all their sort of just announced and just released figures. So for me, that was incredible because we get figures so late in Australia. So for me to see the artisan and the sculpted Joker firsthand, I thought they both looked incredible. I popped a couple of photos of those figures on my Instagram account. But yeah, I've got the sculpted Joker on pre-order at Pop Culture. The artisan figures are not that accessible to us here in Australia. But getting sculpted Joker. I loved it. I thought it looked amazing. I'm very happy to be getting that. So I'll be keen to compare them and see the differences. But I have to say, when I saw the Artisan Hot Toys figure, I liked the hair more because I feel like with my in-art ones, they were quite poofy. Whereas I liked the way the Hot Toys one sat, just sat very straight, and I thought didn't look as sort of puffy as what my in-art ones look like at least. So no, loved it. Got to see the Dark Knight one that got announced. The only bummer is they announced that bat missile like literally as I was leaving Hong Kong, because if I was staying a bit longer, I could have gone to look at it in person, but that was a bit of a bummer. But yeah, it was so cool to see the new Heath Ledger Jokers, and I think it's probably been like 10 years since Hot Toys' last Joker, which I think was the Bank Robber 2.0, and it's just a huge improvement. I'm really excited to be getting that one. I just don't know how long it's going to take for us to get in Australia. It'll probably be 3 or 4 months away. So to get that first-hand look, I was really quite excited to do that. So 2 ticks. I'm going to have some more water. I've done a lot of talking. I'm surprised I've lasted so well. I thought I would crash because I got a red-eye home. I agree, you need 2 more garage shelves. The build will be much quicker and more efficient the second time around. Yeah, it will be. Like, I learnt a lot going through that process, and I think the first part of it was a breeze. It was when we got to the acrylic panels and magnetic tape and vinyl borders. So yeah, I think another one would be a lot easier. I also am pretty sure I would do printed borders if I did it again, which again would cut down the time astronomically. So the one thing I keep debating, and again, overthinker, is this cabinet is higher, and what you don't see here are I've got 2 raised D-tops. So there's part of me that's like, do I move the taller cabinet there and then put a cabinet of the same height here? Because it doesn't bother me that is taller, but if I put a cabinet of the same height there, I could use the picture rail I have there to hang up some of my sign stuff. So yeah, I've got a feeling the other one will be a 1.83, I think, meter high shelf. I just need to work out if that stays where it is or if that moves there, because then it will give a bit more of a transition of higher shelves to lower shelves. I'll work it out one day. I'll do it. At some point. I'll let you guys know. I'll document it as I always do. Thanks, Helen. Looking forward to hearing more about your trip. Also, yeah, well, I bought a gimbal before I went. Did I know how to use it? Not really. I tried. I watched back some of the footage and it didn't make me motion sick, which I thought was an achievement. So hopefully we've got some good footage there. I filmed as much as I could. A lot of shops had like no photography signs. But as I mentioned, like you'd walk into the shop and the people would just be watching videos on their iPhones. And even though you're there, there's no real customer service. Like I would kind of hover going, oh, if I hover long enough, they'll look up and go, can I help you? No, you'd have to go, oh, excuse me, hello, can I? So I stealthily took some photos that I shouldn't have. And I'll try to incorporate them into my footage. Which Hot Toys Joker will get rooted or sculpted? That's what was available to me. And I was happy to get the sculpted one. I've got the rooted one from InArt, and the price of what the artisan one would be for me would be crazy. So I was happy to get the sculpted one. It's a pretty amazing stream. I can't wait for the trip videos. Thank you. Yeah, I need to get my act together and get those out while a lot of stuff is still fresh in my mind. So we've been on the topic of Joker. And the third figure I got, I never thought I would buy. I did not think I would see in Hong Kong. And I certainly didn't think I'd see for the price. So let me get the third and final hot toy that I bought. It's the exclusive Joker, Two-Face, which I saw at Rebel Base. And this was going for 790 Hong Kong dollars, which is 150 Australian and about 100 US. this was an exclusive, a convention exclusive figure. I was stunned. I walked into Rebel Base. It's a very small store. And this was the interesting thing. Like, as I said, prices varied between different stores. Like, I think they had the Captain Marvel figures for a lot more than what the other stores did. So I walked in and I saw this bad boy and I was like, oh, hello. Because I wasn't going to do 2.0s. But then I got the Joker and I want to get the Bane. And I stupidly didn't pre-order because I'm an idiot. I should have. But I will get the Bane. It's fine. I will get it. So I saw this and I was like, it's $150. It's an absolute steal. And I know I've seen it in person. Like, I know the head sculpt is better than the 1.0. Excuse me. I know the tailoring of the suit is a lot better than the 1.0. So I couldn't help myself. I went, you're getting the new Joker. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put the Hot Toys Joker in the main display because it's predominantly a Hot Toys display. So I thought, why not? Like, it's a steal. I don't think I would find this secondhand for this price, let alone brand new from a Hot Toy store. So I picked it up. It was a decision between this and the CW Flash. And I think I made the right choice. I think this was the better thing to get. The Dark Knight, it's my main line. And as I said, convention exclusive. It's sold out, I'm pretty sure, everywhere now. So yeah, this was, the curveball I wasn't expecting. But when I saw the price, and it was the last one they had because I took this to the counter. And at first the guy was like, oh, let me get you a fresh one from out the back. I was like, okay, that's cool. And then he came back, he's like, oh no, that's actually the last one. And he's like, is that okay? I'm like, oh, it's fine. I don't care. It's dirt cheap. Like, I'm getting this figure for an absolute steal. So, there was a couple little dings on the box, but I don't care because I'm not collecting boxes. I'm collecting figures. So, yeah, didn't expect I'd buy this, but here we are. And I'm happy I got it. As I said, I feel like, I feel like the 2.0s, as I said, as much as I try to resist them, I'm like, they just look so much better. They do. Like, this Two-Face looks so much better than the original one. Like, even looking at the tailoring of that suit compared to even things like the Topo suits that I have, I was like, I'm only going to have one Two-Face, so let's have the best one we can get. So this is what I got. As I said, unexpected find. I didn't think I would get that. So, quite a few comments. Harvey Dent and Helen's going to be deep into the line. Yeah, well, it's the main thing I collect. I thought for the longest time it would be the only thing that I would collect. So, as I say, I resisted, but I was like, because I was worried about the scaling, and I'm like, you can make the scaling work. Like, let's not upgrade if we can. So yeah, I'm kind of changing my view on the 2.0s. I have that Harvey and he's awesome. Yeah. I think so too. It's a big improvement. Probably a silly question, but the communication at the shops in China is good once they start helping you out. Look, it's not a silly question at all. It's absolutely not a silly question. It depends on how much English they speak. It really does vary at the different shops. So some shops I went to, English was fantastic, could have a proper conversation, and even had people ask me about collecting in Australia and things like that, and that was great. There was other shops where English wasn't amazing, so you really have to think about your words. And I don't like doing it, but like speaking really slowly, and I worry, I'm like, oh, I don't want to sound condescending, but sometimes you have to kind of go to that pidgin English to help people understand. So it just depends. It really varies. But yeah, customer service as a whole can be a bit hit and miss. It's probably the one thing that I struggled with Hong Kong is because the city I live in is a very cruisy place. Probably a slow pace, people in Australia would say. And Hong Kong very much reminded me of like visiting New York, where at first you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. But then after a while, you're like, it's crowded. I'm sick of people bumping into me. And the other thing that got me was people like bump into you And there's no like, oh, excuse me, sorry. Whereas like in Australia, like if I smashed into someone, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You okay? I think the whole time, like one person went, oh, sorry, sorry. Like I have like bruises. Like I'm not even joking. Like on my arms and legs that I don't even know how I got. I think they're just from people smashing into me. Cause it's just like I'm going at my own pace. Like I was somewhere and I was walking, and as I was walking, someone behind me was like kicking the back of my shoes, and it was a really crowded place. And I was like, mate, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm moving as fast as I can go. Like, is this an accident? Is this deliberate? It was a lot. So yeah, as I said, the shop people are in their own world. A lot of them were there just watching iPads, not paying attention. So yeah, you kind of have to excuse me. And as I said, it was hit and miss. Like some of them were helpful, some of them didn't care. You could do whatever you wanted in their shops, and then when you were ready to pay for something, they'd then emerge. So it was not like customer service like I would expect at a shop, like I've experienced in Australia. But as I said, I found the Google Translate app was really handy. Sometimes signs were only in Chinese, so with the Google Translate app, you can put it onto your camera and hold it up and it will translate a sign. So I found that really helpful. But yeah, it was what it was. It just depends. I found at the Hot Toy stores, all their staff at the different bases and toy hunters, English was really good. At other shops, it just depended. And I found sometimes people would be kind to me and like step in to like try to translate what I was saying. Like I bought a head sculpt and it had no packaging with it. And I was asking the store attendant, and I don't think she was understanding what I was saying. And someone was like, oh, what are you trying to ask for? And I was like, oh, just wondering if there's a box or something this head comes with. And that person then sort of translated for me. So yeah, had some kind bystanders that kind of like, okay, I'll help you out with a bit of translation, which I appreciated. But yeah, it is what it is. As I said, for the most part, I found I was able to get by with English okay. So I wouldn't say the language is a barrier to stop anybody from going, because yeah, a lot of English speaking there. I want the Bane 2 going to be a hunting. I know. And I'm a fool because normally my position is pre-order it from Pop Culture, because if you change your mind, they will let you move your deposit onto another figure. But I was so like not doing the 2.0s, and Bane was like nowhere to be found in Hong Kong. I eventually looked at places like Carousel because I had gotten a SIM card over there, so I could sort of look at things like Carousel. And yeah, a lot of it was like more pre-ordering. Not really, people didn't really have it in stock, because two figures I was looking for that were sold out were the So Toys Mr. Ice and the Bane, and they were just nowhere to be seen. So Toys was really not in a lot of places, which surprised me. I thought they would be a bit more prolific than what they were over there, but I really didn't see a lot of shops with So Toys stuff. That new beta's a must. Mine's on the way. Yeah, I put myself on the wait list at Sideshow, which I don't know if that's going to convert, but it was like my, got nothing to lose by joining the wait list. We'll see. Pop Culture sold out, and that would be my preference. But as I say, I'm an idiot because I always say to pre-order and then I didn't. But yeah, it's on me. I've got no one to blame but myself. I need Bane. Yeah, I think a lot of us feel that way. As I say, I got so excited when I saw those boxes with the Bane code on them, and the guy was like, no, not Bane. I'm like, but it says Bane. He's like, we don't have Bane. Stop asking about Bane. I was like, oh, sorry. Amazing how the Dark Knight series is still popular. It's years old now. Well, I still think it's the best thing DC's ever done. Like, as a complete story, like, what has DC done that's better? I don't know. And Batman's such a huge character. Like, I just think that trilogy is still the best superhero series to me, in my eyes. Hope you get him soon, yeah. Fingers crossed for all of us looking for Bane. I hope we all find him. The latest Joker does look amazing, though. Yes, every release looks that little bit better anyway. Yeah, as I said before, I was very lucky that Joker released while I was in Hong Kong and I got to see the figures firsthand at Secret Base, and I think they both looked incredible. I've posted some pictures of them on my Instagram, but yeah, I'm very happy. I've got the sculpted one coming, and I'm very stoked to get it eventually when it comes, which will probably be in the new year, knowing pop culture. He will be mine. Oh, yes, he will be mine. Yeah. I hope so. I hope we all get him. Great haul indeed. Yeah. I've still got one more thing to show off, but I'll get through the comments and then I'll show off my last thing, which is a custom item that I'm super excited about. Because it's something I'd been eyeing off for a while, but I wasn't sure how postage would go. But I had the opportunity to pick it up in person, and I took up that opportunity. Can hear the voice. Who doesn't love Wayne's World? Interesting. Thanks. You're welcome. Helen, you were literally fighting. Yeah, look. It was crowded. I'm not used to it. Yeah. It was. I just I'm just not used to it. Like Perth is just like Western Australia. It's a huge, like if you look up a map of Australia, Western Australia is huge. It's gigantic. There's like 3 million people in the state. Like space is a premium. We all go at our own pace. So I had said to a friend at one point, if I could combine the pace of Perth with the figure shopping in Hong Kong, that would be like my ultimate place to be. Yeah, it was a lot. Like the subways, the sort of pushing the, yeah. I reach a point where I'm like, it all gets a bit much, and I'm like, oh god, like I need to be alone for a moment. But it's fine. I push through. But yeah, it was. I think comparing it to like New York is a good thing to do, because you even have like, you go to the touristy places and you've got people like, you know, putting flyers in your face of, you know, do you want to buy a ferry ride? Do you want to buy a photo op? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy that? You know, there's a lot of Missy. And I'm just like, no, leave Missy alone. Missy doesn't want your tourist upsells. Just leave me be. So yeah, it got to me after a while, but yeah. I think that's any big city for me though. I get a little bit like that in any big crowded city. So it is what it is. I feel glad animated. Yeah, I call it the Greek rage. Like the Greek rage builds up inside me. And I just got to the point where whenever I'd get smashed into, I just need to make a little snarky comment to myself to just, yeah, it was what it was. They weren't going to change, and that's fine. That's how things work there. Full gladiator mode. Situation awareness. Yeah. Absolutely tremendous series of films, just shows its lasting. It is like I still watch them regularly. Like when I was in the US, like that one channel had like a movie marathon where they showed all three, and I sat there and watched them. Like even on the plane rides I've been on recently, they've had those movies, and I've had to force myself to watch other things, which I've then in hindsight regretted, because I watched Blue Beetle on the flight over, and my goodness, that was average. That was very predictable. I felt like it was a less charming Miss Marvel. Blue Beetle, I'm glad I didn't see it at the cinema. Anyway. Safel, hello Helen. Hello, thanks for joining. I'm down to my last thing. So, my goodness, I filled almost 2 hours, which is incredible. HK is overcrowded, people living on top of people. No, but it is like, there's a lot of high-rise buildings, and I couldn't believe like how many shopping malls there are. My goodness, like everywhere is shopping malls, and the malls are huge. And even just, this might sound dumb, but like where I live, most things are one level, like streets, shopping centers. Because even like you do Google Maps, and it would tell you to cross somewhere, and you're like, but where? And it's like, oh, it's an underground pedestrian subway. It's an overground pedestrian subway. Or you'd go into the mall and you'd just like, I would be like, I don't know which level I need to get out. And I would reach a point where I'm like, I just need to get out of this shopping center, and I don't know how. So it was, yeah, just very, very big, very crowded. Yeah, very different to what I'm used to in my day-to-day life. I would sure like to see how and where the figures are made. Yeah, the crafting. Yeah. Wouldn't we all? I would love to see it. I did get to see where some dioramas are made though, which was very exciting. Do you have Tyler Jennifer? I don't. I don't have any Flight Club figures. But these are the kinds of things that I feel like older things like that, you find them in Hong Kong. Like some of the head sculpts I saw were surprisingly random. Like even does anyone remember Molecule Aid? Like at one shop I went to where I got the 11 John Wick head sculpt, they had the two Molecule 8 John Lennon head sculpts like loose for sale. Like you can just find anything in Hong Kong. It's just crazy. So Shuri's back and she's a menace. So let's get to the last item. Oh, you're being all nice to me now. You were being naughty before. So what is this? This is a custom diorama base that I bought in Hong Kong that I'm very excited about. It's by the studio's called Full Team Creation, and I had been, oh hello, you want to come and get involved, but this is not for you to get involved in, darling. Excuse me. Yeah. Not right now, Shuri. She's gonna jump back. She's a menace. So what I told you, what I got was this awesome. Are you okay there, madam? Shuri. She normally doesn't jump on the laptop. She's being a little menace. This is a custom diorama display base. Oh my goodness. Why are you being so cheeky, monkey? That I got from Full Team Creation. He makes these dioramas himself. So it's actually quite hefty. It's made out of imitation stone material, and this base weighs around a kilo. Like it's heavy, like it's got weight to it. So I originally was going to get this for my Avengers display, but now I'm thinking I'm going to use it for my A-Force. And it was really cool because I had to make an appointment to go and meet with Oscar. He runs the business. And I said to him, hey, like, while I'm there, could I see some of your other work? I've got a YouTube channel. It would be really cool if I could showcase some of your stuff. And he very kindly brought out a ton of diorama bases that he has made. So I have shot a whole bunch of video showing the different bases that he has. He has some amazing stuff. And every item is unique. Like this Avengers base that I got, he actually had a couple of them. And he was like, oh, choose which one you want. And you could see like the paint applications were different. Even the rock formation was different. So I think I'm going to have Captain Marvel standing on this holding the gauntlet. So that's why I liked this one, because it had the steps here of the rocks, which I was like, okay, I think this one is going to best allow me to get the look that I want. But Oscar has amazing work. As I said, this is like an imitation stone. The pieces he has, it uses a lot of metal, a lot of this imitation stone. He does a lot of things by hand. The other cool thing about this is that it has audio. I'm not kidding you. It has audio, guys. And I'm hoping I don't get some kind of copyright strike for this. But there's like a button on the side and it plays like the Avengers theme. So I'm hoping this isn't too loud. If this is too loud, tell me and I will turn down my mic. But literally, I hope this works. Oh, people are saying the sound cut out. That's a bummer. Oh, dude. Yeah, it's just within the base that's all wired in and it has like some button cell batteries. Oh, that's a shame. I thought everybody could hear. Beautiful looking furball. Yeah, but she's being a menace tonight. This is what happens when I go away. She gets a little bit crazy. Oh, that's a bummer. I'll include this in my video. As I said, I got to shoot quite a bit of Oscar's display bases. He has some cool stuff. He is really into Batman and Spider-Man, so quite a few of his dioramas center around those characters. But I did a bit of a Q&A with him. It's not on camera because we had a little bit of a language barrier between us, so he was quite happy for me to sort of take notes of his answers. So while I'm showing off his work, I'll convey a lot of the information that he shared, which was around the process, how he makes stuff, what his inspiration is, how to order from him. He was a really cool guy. I really appreciated the fact that he brought all this stuff out for me to film because he very, easily could have been like, get stuffed. You have like no subs, which I would have gone, fair play. I do not. But he was a lovely guy. It was very cool to meet him. So, oh man, it's annoying. Must be some kind of noise. I wonder if because when you hold it up, it's very loud. I wonder if I hold it away, will you hear it? So let's see. Can you hear that now? I'm holding it far away. Can you hear it? It's cutting out. I don't know if it's a copyright thing, if it's a volume thing. I know for me, when you're holding it up like this, it's super loud. When you have it sat, I think because it's sealing the speaker, like because the speaker is just like literally right there. Yeah, what a shame. I'll get that conveyed in the video. So as I said, I'm hoping I did it justice filming Oscar's pieces because it was a lot and this is all very new to me, the whole, gimbal and filming stuff and whatnot. So, yeah, I hope I just show his work well. Someone had asked me a question, which was, can hear it now barely. Oh, it's a bummer. I don't know what I'm doing with this stuff. So someone asked me a question that I wanted to highlight. Oh, here we go. There's one. Speaking of Shuri, I picked up Shuri Black Panther last week. Amazing head sculpt, but I do not like the new style. Yeah, I've heard that new leg peg looks weird, and I've heard people say that it often messes up the rolling eyeballs. And I did see Shuri for sale with the Wakandan throne, which was very tempting, but I had to resist. But yeah, I don't have any figures with that. I don't think I have any with that new neck. I don't know, because Valkyrie doesn't have the rolling eyes, and neither does Kate. So I don't think I have anything with it. Oh, here we go. That's it. Keith Lee, how did you find this company? I found them on Facebook. I can't remember exactly how, but I remember finding them and seeing this base, and I admired it for the long time. And then I remember they did the Joker bust diorama, and I showed that to Bob. So the bust diorama that Bob has is actually a full team creation piece. This is heavy. As I said, I put this on the scales. This is just under a kilo. It's super hefty. It's really nicely done. I was so happy with it. And as I said, he had a couple of different versions there, and he was like, you can pick which one you prefer. Same, he had some Justice League bases, which were really great. And same thing, you could just see these are not mass-produced items. Like he's making these himself. He uses He does things by hand, and he does do some 3D modeling for things like the logos. But all of the dioramas he had just looked brilliant. So I felt very lucky that he brought out quite a few of the pieces for me to look at. I filmed them as best as I could. I hope I did them justice, and I will share his details in the video. He's primarily on Facebook, so Full Team Creations. And he does things in 6th scale and 12th scale. So he's got a lot of cool stuff that he has. And as I said, I had eyed this off for a while, and I had to put this in my checked luggage, so I was really worried, but it came in one piece, and I was very relieved because it's an awesome display piece. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Yeah, cut out again. I don't know why it is what it is. As long as it works for you. Yeah, I could hear it perfectly fine. As I said, I found when you hold it up like this, it's super loud. I wonder, let me put it on the bench and let's see if that, third time lucky? Let's see. Can you guys hear that? Still cutting out. Okay. Hopefully I can show that in the YouTube video. If not, I will put it up on my Instagram. Because it's a cool feature. I didn't particularly buy it thinking, oh, great sound effects. I saw the bass, loved the bass. I had been talking to Iron Logan about my A-Force display and wanting to get that final configuration. And we were sort of talking about the figures and getting some different heights and levels. And he'd kind of said it would be cool if you had some kind of a rock base or something for Carol to stand on. And I was like, actually, I have been eyeing off a base. And we had this conversation like a week out from when I went to Hong Kong. So it just worked out really well. So I messaged Oscar on Facebook. He still had them available. I just had to make an appointment. I had to let him know at least a day beforehand. So he's available from like 4 to 8. So yeah, I just messaged him, told him where his studio is, was super easy to get to. Ironically, his studio was across the road from the Hot Toys head office, because as we went out, he pointed to the building across the street and he goes, oh, that's Hot Toys office. See, there's like boxes in there. And I zoomed in on my camera. I was like, oh my God, there is boxes there. So hence, when I go back to Hong Kong, I'm going to be on a mission to find Howard Chan and ask him to make me an Okoye to finish my A-Force display. But yeah, this is a beautiful piece. I really love it. I know Bob really loves his bust diorama that he got from Full Team Creations. I've seen that bust diorama. It's super impressive. Just really high quality stuff. Like, it's not, you know, I've owned mass produced things like the Deadpool bases that are kind of plastic and whatnot, and just the quality and detail on this is just something else. So I was really happy with this. I think this was 820 Hong Kong dollars, which is, I think, around 160 Australian, which is a big theme. A lot of things cost 160 Australian for me this trip. But for what I got, and the quality of this piece, I feel like that was a really reasonable price. Like, I couldn't make anything like this, and I feel like a lot of people that sometimes are making these dioramas, they're using plastic or styrofoam. And with something like styrofoam, I'd be worried about it damaging. Whereas this is a solid piece. Like, I think I'd have to try really hard to damage this. So this was something that I was just super happy to pick up. I absolutely love it. And yeah, I can't wait to share that video with you guys. I hope I've shot Oscar's work in a way that does it justice, because it was just a table full of stuff and it was a bit overwhelming. I was going around the gimbal doing my best to show it off. So I hope it's good, and I hope you guys find it informative. I thought it was a really great opportunity to kind of highlight a business that I don't think many people have heard of, but I think is doing some really cool stuff in both 6th scale and 12th scale. So very cool. Beautiful bass, and with sound, that's even better. Congrats. Yeah, the sound's cool. It's quite a long clip as well. It's quite a long clip. So yeah, it's very cool. Hot Toys office, is it clearly marked? No sign at the front. There was no signage. Like, if Oscar hadn't pointed it out to me, I would have had no idea, because we literally walked out and he pointed to this sort of high-rise building across the road and he's like, you see those windows? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's Hot Toys office. He goes, they're Hot Toys boxes. And so as I said, I kind of zoomed in and took a photo and I was like, oh yeah, they are Hot Toys, just like the, I guess the cartons that then have the individual figures in them. So that was cool. And yeah, I was like, what a coincidence. I didn't go out seeking where that was, but then I found where that was. So as I said, if I had Tim Tams, I would have gone back and just tried to run into my boy Howie and just say g'day and share a Tim Tam and tell him that I need a Koye. But next trip, because I will be back, 100%, I'm going to go back to Hong Kong. It was a great place. Hope you have a good, yeah, I don't have anything with this new peg system, so I'm kind of interested to experience it. It may be the base electronics interfering with your computer setup. Okay. I did not know that. I'm not that techie, so maybe it's something to do with the mic. I don't know. As I said, I will try to capture that in my video or on my Instagram, so I'll share that somewhere. There should be more bases like that with all the solid home and garden stuff you can get. Yeah, he had a lot of great bases. There was, as I said, quite a few Batman things, Spider-Man things. He kind of said to me that they're sort of his 2 favorite IPs, but then he's open to commissions and stuff. But I think the thing is postage, because as I said, this is one of his smaller bases and this is about 1 kilo. So that's something to be a little bit mindful of. Acquire, please. I know, right? When? How? Like, we're getting all this other stuff that we didn't expect. Like, where is Okoye? Like, I need an official Hot Toys Okoye to finish my A-Force. It will always feel incomplete to me if I don't have it. So, hey Shiro, that's amazing collection display you've got. It looks like you have all the original Avengers. What's the next lineup you're aiming for? I do. Sorry, it's a little bit cut off. I'm a little bit more zoomed in than usual. So I have all the original and the Endgame Avengers displayed together. So I guess the next big line for me is the one I started this year, which is the 89 to 97 Batman display. So I'm still waiting for the 89 2.0 to arrive. I have the DX9, but I've put that in the display with the 89 Batmobile. Just because the Batman Forever figures, there is a bit of a height difference between the Val Kilmer and the Michael Keaton figures. So I wanted to put the 2.0 in there because I think that will scale better. So that's probably the next sort of, I guess, big line I'm looking at. I'm also just doing some kit bashes at the moment. So I've got some sculpts and stuff that I bought from Hong Kong. I want to finish my other kit bash John Wick. I've got the John Wick 4 on order, so I want to have the 3 looks for him with the turtlenecks suit, the white shirt, and the black shirt. I'm trying to kit bash a Stealthy Elena. That'll be interesting. I am going to document that process for my YouTube channel. That could go horribly wrong because I'm like mutilating a Hot Toy Spider-Man suit to make that happen. So who knows what will happen. But I think that's probably it for now. Like I do want to put together a collection with like some of my favorite female figures, but that will sort of depend on whether I do build another garage shelf, which I think is more likely to happen than not. So for now, it's probably that Batman collection because he's my main guy and I love him. And Batman's where all the superhero stuff started for me. So that's probably the next big one. And as I say, like Hot Toys, hopefully they're doing the Batman and Robin figures. If Jazz Inc. holds up and does all the figures they say they're going to do, that should end up being a pretty big collection. So fingers crossed. a bit of 112 in the shops as well by the sounds. A lot of smaller things like this was the interesting thing, was that it felt like the majority of things in some of the bigger shopping malls were Lego and smaller figures. 1/6 scale was not as prominent in some as I thought. So it's quite interesting. Like some of the malls were more complete figures and some of the malls were more kit bash parts and pieces. But a lot of smaller scale stuff, a lot of Lego, even a lot of loose little Lego figurines, a lot of like plush toys and stuff. The thing that did surprise me, not a lot of pop vinyls. So the Funko Pops, like I feel like they're a disease here in Australia. Like every shop you go into, even like a newsagent or somewhere random, you will find Funko Pops. I feel like I hardly saw Funko Pops in Hong Kong, which surprised me. A lot of cos babies in the hot toy shops, but yeah, not a lot of Funko Pops, which surprised me because I feel like they're huge in Australia, in the US. I feel like they're very big there. But yeah, a lot of smaller, like I did see a lot of Marvel Legends and other smaller figures like that, I think because space is at such a premium in Hong Kong, so they like the smaller stuff. Yes, that's shipping. Wait. Jazz Inc. vehicles or hot toys. These are all hot toys. So I have, that's the new 89 Batmobile that came out, and I have the 2 original tumblers, which I don't plan to swap. Like I built this case around the dimensions of the Hot Toys figures and I'm happy with them. Like I've had those tumblers for, God, I think I got the camo tumbler back in 2017. I'm happy with it. So, sticking with what I've got. I think she said 5 kilos. What's 5 kilos? The base was around 1, just under 1. I'm not sure what that is. Helen, look up Fresh Fierce Collector Okoye. I have her as a... Is that the sort of... I don't want to say Barbie doll, but that kind of figure that came out? Because I saw someone on Instagram has gotten a sculpt done and put it on that figure. But I feel like that outfit just looks... I think it looks too much like a toy compared to the other figures here. Like when you see them all together, I'm not sure that looks quite as high end as the rest of the 8-4. So if that's the one I'm thinking about, I've had a few people point it out to me, but I'm not sure that's going to look great when everything else is a Hot Toys quality figure. So if I get desperate, maybe, but I'm not sure. Looks like, I saw that. Denzel, Black Panther 3. Glad they're doing Black Panther 3. I kind of wasn't sure after 2 what would happen with the franchise, but I'm obviously a big fan of Shuri because I named my Menace of a Cat after her, so that's awesome. I wish someone would make the 66 Batgirl already. Well, I mean, has Mars Toys teased her? I feel like Mars Toys is doing a lot of the 66 stuff. They're just taking a while to produce stuff because I have had an interest in, they have talked about Penguin and Catwoman for the longest time, but there's been no real updates on them. So like Jazz Inc. is definitely doing them. So I'm like, I think that's the way I'm going to go. But then I'm not going to lie, like I'm a little bit nervous about Jazz Inc. and this being their first proper figure and the price tag. So I'm like, I don't know. It's I think it would be about 850 Australian dollars for the clean DX. And what's it going to be like? I don't know. I get just, Hot Toys has a track record and, we've got new players, which is great. But also I'm like, I don't know that the runs are on the board just yet with some of the new companies. Helen, also an enjoyable stream. Thank you for sharing your awesome stuff in Hong Kong. Thank you. I feel like I got amazing stuff in Hong Kong. I was really happy with everything I got. It was really hard not to buy some of the random things that I saw. Like, as I said, I saw that Christian Bale head sculpt that was painted like the Joker. I don't have anything that I could use that with, but I thought it was cool. And I was like, oh, if you had an imposter Joker, you could put that on there and wouldn't that be interesting? And then I had to focus myself I actually had a list of what I was hoping to find. And I found some of it and some of it I didn't, but that's okay. We keep hunting, so it is what it is. Cool. I wonder if Hot Toys would ever release the 60s Batmobile they teased years. I don't know. Like, I never would have thought they'd do the Bat Missile. Maybe. Howard is just like taking no prisoners at this stage. So I just never say never with them. I feel like the only thing I can confidently say they'll never make is the Kree Captain Marvel and the Yon-Rogg. We're never getting those. They're never happening. So give up on my dream of that. But I don't know, maybe. I just feel like Howard doesn't play well with others, and I just don't put anything past him at this stage. I'll send you a picture. Sure. BP3 Sun taking it. That's what I think as well. It's probably the one thing I didn't like about the movie. I felt like they were already moving on from Shuri very quickly, and I was like, she'd been through a lot in that movie, so it felt very, yeah, I didn't like the way that, yeah, I don't know. Didn't sit right with me. Jazz Inc. looks amazing, but so priced. I know. And this is the thing, like, you know, I don't want to turn into a Jazz Inc. thing, but there's still problems with their releases. And they've been doing vehicles for a while. So I'm like, it's such an ambitious figure, this Catwoman. And I get it, like the R&D they're putting into it, like the price is going to be up there, but are they going to pull it off? I don't know. And there's still a irking feeling in me. I'm going, is Hot Toys going to do one? Because as much as, you know, people get so, oh, well, Hot Toys is Temu and Jazz Inc. is ultimate, accurate, amazing. Hot Toys has made, what, more than 800 figures? Like, I have more trust in them and their production than any other 6-scale figure manufacturer. So if they were to do one, I would lean more towards that. But they have said nothing at this stage, and I think the pre-order deadline is coming for that Catwoman really soon. So I need to make a decision sooner than later. And the hype had me at first, but now just thinking of the track record and the problems that people have had, I don't know, a little bit of doubt and nervousness has crept into my thinking. So, impulse buying in Hong Kong could be dangerous. It could be so dangerous. Like, I saw so many figures that I was interested in, so many head sculpts that I was interested in, so many clothing sets, so many things that were a temptation. And as I said, I was glad I had my list, and I tried to stay very true to the list. There were some things I bought, like my little Captain Marvel beeper, which was not on the list, but I like Captain Marvel. I figure I'll work this into the display. But most other things I got were things that I had wanted for a while, and the prices were just really great. Like, what I got in Hong Kong, for me to buy from here, from some of these shops online or through pop culture here, I would have spent at least 3 times as much. Like, I've already said, like, the 3 Hot Toys figures I got were insane. Like, Valkyrie's 470 Australian dollars at pop culture, and I got it for like 165. So that sort of speaks for itself. So I was very lucky with the timing of when I went and the sale that was on. Jazz Inc. will put it off. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I want it to be awesome, but if it's not, $850 is a lot of money to spend on a figure that, like, how are you going to fix that if there's a problem? Like, what recourse will you get? Like, I don't know. Still debating about the Jazz Inc. Catwoman, but I really want it. Yeah, me too. And they've already said they've got approval to do the Danny DeVito Penguin, which again is like, I've pre-ordered the Returns Batman, so I'm getting that. And I need a Joker and a Penguin and a Catwoman to go with it. And Hot Toys just, I don't know. Like, really, are you going to do the Bat Missile and not do Catwoman and the Penguin? Like, would that not seem random to people? Like, they've got to be coming. I feel like they've got to be coming. Like, why would you do the Bat Missile and not do Penguin and Catwoman? I just don't know.
Very good point. So limited and hard lining on the pre-orders for Jazz Inc. They could make a few extra. I'm sure they would sell. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they will or they won't. I think the pre-orders with like 1/6 kit close on the 17th. I'm not sure if it's longer on the Jazz Inc. website. Like I know I can order it directly through them. The one reason I liked kit was the price is the price. Like the shipping's already built in, so I know what I'm paying. Whereas I don't think they've really given concrete shipping prices, which I understand. Shipping prices change all the time, so I can understand them not wanting to commit to a price in case it changes and they're out of pocket. So I appreciate that. Would it have been safer for Jazz Inc. to paint the Catwoman eyes rather than implement the rolling eyeball system? Do you think? Look, this is the other thing with Jazz Inc. Like, I get they want to be for the collectors and they have all these votes. But I was quite happy when it wasn't rolling eyeballs. I liked 3 independent sculpts. I'll be honest, I was a bit bummed that with the deluxe version, the neutral sculpt isn't being included. Like, I really wanted that neutral sculpt. I kind of feel like, to me, that's a bit of a misstep. I feel like there's 2 kind of smirking ones that are a bit similar, and I would have liked the neutral sculpt to be included. I don't know. I just feel like it's more things that could go wrong with the figure. Like, if you're getting something with 3 head sculpts and 3 sets of moving eyeballs, I also feel like I'm kind of crap at using rolling eyeballs. So if something is preset and pre-done, like, I'm a happy camper. So I was happy when they announced that. My other thing is, like, with these polls and people voting, like, are the people voting buying stuff? Like, I remember Yoast did a post about, oh, that rhymes, like some Star Wars set, and all these people voted that they would buy it. And then he did another post saying, well, like, this many people said they would buy it, but only this many people have ordered. So I know for me, I have been observing in that group for a while. The only thing I've ever voted for was when he showed the 4 Catwoman sculpts and said, pick 3 and vote the 3 you want. Because I was like, well, I think if I'm buying something, it's going to be this Catwoman. So that's when I voted, because I felt like, well, I'm potentially buying this. For everything else, like, I haven't voted because I'm like, I know I'm not buying your vehicles, buying your Star Wars stuff. So I don't feel like it's my place to vote. So I kind of feel like you get people swaying votes, or people that come in and have very strong views about certain things, and then that can sway the production. So, like, even the figure they're showing for the pre-orders is not like the final product. And that's another thing that I'm like, well, what is the final product? When do we see the final product? I feel like that's going to be once the pre-orders have closed. Whereas with Hot Toys, like, when something goes up for pre-order, people in Hong Kong go to Secret Base and they take photos and videos and we can see it. Like, I was in Hong Kong and I saw that Dark Knight Batman. Like, there's a physical product that exists. So this is, again, where I get a little bit torn about with the whole Jazz Inc. stuff. Totally random. I didn't even remember the Batman. So, yeah, right? Like, it's not even in the movie that long. And that's where I'm going. If Hot Toys is going that specific for a vehicle from Batman Returns, surely Catwoman and Penguin have to be coming, right? I can't think they're not. I would like to see Hot Toys do a 2.0 of the 66 Adam. Yeah, I mean, as I say, like, nothing surprises me with them. I feel like Howard sees other people doing stuff and he wants to rain on their parade. So nothing would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me with Hot Toys. I have a few Jazz Inc. products and I haven't had issues with this Catwoman. I'm excited, but I can't decide which version. Yeah, that's another decision. There's so many SKUs. For me, I know I much prefer the clean look. So I think, yeah, if I do, it'll be the clean DX, I think, would be the way that I go. Tiny Art Guy. Thanks for being so upbeat and happy, Helen. I don't like seeing this tension between certain 1/6 YouTubers I'm seeing recently. Yeah, look, I mean, I'm just sitting in my own little bubble. Like, I keep saying, like, I kind of just sitting on the fringes of this YouTube stuff. I'm Like, I'm not looking to make a living off this or get sponsorships or endorsements. Like, I literally started my channel for two reasons. I legit wanted to learn how to make videos because it kind of relates to my day job. And I just didn't really see a lot of women on streams doing content, and it frustrated me. And I went, well, you're a woman, you collect, you're not putting yourself out there. You can't complain that other people aren't putting themselves out there if you're not putting yourself out there. So here I am giving it a go. Don't think I'm particularly good at any of it yet, but I'm trying. And I like chatting to people about the hobby because, you know, my friends are not into this stuff. And I have to say, it's probably one of the cool things in Hong Kong. Like, when I went to these malls, where they had a lot of the figure stuff, it was such a broad demographic of people, men, women, young, old. It was cool. So I genuinely like the connections that I've built with so many people from different parts of the world. Like, I wouldn't have that otherwise. I'd be collecting in a bubble with no one to talk to. So for me, you know, I buy what I like. I observe things. I ask questions. I want to know stuff. But yeah, I don't really know what's up with some of that stuff. I have to be honest. Like, since I went away to the US, I really started questioning what I watched and how much I watched. So I don't know what some of this drama is, but I went on an amazing trip to Hong Kong, and I'm just feeling very great about collecting and all the stuff I picked up. So, yeah, it is what it is. But thank you. I appreciate that. Only votes counted should be people who pro. I agreed. And I feel like, yes, you've got the big Jazz Inc. group. Maybe there needs to be some subgroups for the products where you need proof of purchase or deposit to be let in, and then you vote. And I know that's a lot of extra work, but then you're not getting products and decisions swayed by people who aren't going to put their money where their mouth is. Because I feel like that's a big thing that happens. Like, a lot of people, yeah, Dopo, I'm totally going to get that. And then there's excuses as to why they didn't get it. So as I said, that's why I haven't participated in any of their votes, because I wasn't buying any of their stuff previously. It wasn't for me to share my 2 cents because I'm not buying it. Greetings, hope you're having a good day so far. Well, oh wow, it is Saturday for me now, 12:38 a.m. I've been going for 2.5 hours, which is freaking ridiculous because I stopped showing shopping stuff ages ago. So, thanks for hanging with me, people. I can't believe how long this has been going for. Jazz Inc. Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, plus it's Jazz Inc.'s last Star Wars themed product Pogos. Yeah, I mean, that's what I find interesting, that the Star Wars stuff doesn't sell as well. That surprised me because everyone keeps telling me Star Wars is the best thing ever, and how dare I not want to watch all the things all the time. So it surprises me that that stuff's not moved. Exactly, Hot Toys will sell the 66 card of people as well, not just the figure collectors. Yeah. I feel like Hot Toys is more established name as well. Like, more people would know of Hot Toys than Jazz Inc. I still think they're emerging. And I think part of that's the distribution. You know, when you're distributing yourself, you don't get some of that advantage of the reputation and the patronage of shops. So, like, here in Australia, Pop Culture now stocks in-art products, which I think can only help in-art become more well-known here, whereas Yoast doesn't really have that same. I think with the DC store is stocking some of his stuff. I don't really know if that's specific to USA or if other countries buy from that, but I think, yeah, some of that stuff, you know, Hot Toys is just stocked by so many places, so it's a lot well-known. Enjoy it. Thanks for sharing. People don't always get the figure collecting. Yeah, I know. It's funny because I have friends who try to act all like, oh, how's he collecting stuff going? How's your YouTube? And I'm like, oh, you don't care, but bless you for actually showing an interest in something I care about. So I appreciate them, but I also, this is not even stuff I really share on my private social media, because I'm just like, that's not of interest to my peeps and I don't want to bore them. So I've kind of started my own collecting social media, which has been great. And I think that's where I think I've made some really great connections with other collectors, more so than groups. The groups I really kind of don't tune into anymore because, again, I feel like they're kind of a bit negative, and I want my collecting to be a happy, positive thing in my life. Totally understand about YouTube and sharing the enjoyment of the hobby. Yeah. It can be a great place. I think it depends the corners you go to. And that's why, as I say, I feel like I'm becoming more and more selective about who I give my attention to with some of their content. I would hope shop owners in Hong Kong would be enthusiastic about the hobby and happy to have someone look for particular items. Yeah, I mean, they don't mind you rummaging around. Like, as I said, I walked into shops and they just had huge boxes. And that's what you had to do. You had to rummage. And I know with some stores, I spent heaps of time going through individual packets and they were happy to let me do so. No one really was like, what are you looking for? What are you doing? Don't touch that. Yeah, I think they're kind of used to people just coming in and having a gander. So yeah, I never felt like any of the shops were getting annoyed by me kind of going through all the packets and whatnot. I think they just maybe, I don't know, saw that as a sign that I was going to buy some stuff or I was a serious collector. But yeah, as I say, and it is just like the shops are chaotic. Like some of them are just, you can barely walk into them. It's interesting. Yeah, hopefully, as I say, hopefully my footage just captured it well. Because yeah, some of the shops you can, like if you walk in and someone's trying to walk out, like it's that narrow that you can't even do that. Like I think space is at an absolute premium in those shops. Remember Hot Toys showed the 66 Batmobile but never produced it for whatever reason. Purgatory thought it's worth. Yeah, I mean maybe, but I mean, doesn't that mean they've got molds and they can make it? I don't know. I just, you know, they're making stuff that I don't think people would have, like, I just never would have thought of Bat Missile because that's, like, the 89, that's different. They've made that. And from what I can see, there's not a lot of difference between version 1 and version 2. But that Bat Missile is, like, a totally different vehicle. So why not? Why not? Is Shiro a comic book character or did you invent that name because it's cool? So when I was thinking of a YouTube name, so I what am I going to call myself? And Hero is male and Shiro is the female version of Hero. So I went, okay, 6-scale Shiro. So, you know, I try to have awesome female characters represented in my collection. I did reach a point where I loved my collection, but I looked around and I was like, it's a lot of dudes. So hence the A-Force, hence some of the other, you know, female characters that I'm trying to incorporate into my collection. So that's where it came from. So it's not a specific character, it's more female heroes. So I thought it was a cool word, and as I say, I had that nice alliteration, so that's where it came from. So yeah, nothing. I don't know. Is that a clever name? Is it not? I don't know. As I say, I just liked it. Yeah, I was also excited for the 66 Batmobile until they cancelled it. So glad Jazik made it, and it's a beautiful masterpiece. Yeah, I mean, I know a collector here who's got it and is super happy with it. So I think for a lot of people, it ticked a major box. Just like everything in Australia, though, is super pricey. Like those Jazz Inc. vehicles are around $3,500 Australian. Hence, you know, my Hot Toys Batmobile was like $1,000. And I'm more than happy with it. Different strokes for different folks. I met you through Breda. Haven't seen him in a bit. Hope he's doing well. Yeah, Joel, he's got a few things going on, so he's taking a little bit of a break. So he did put an announcement on his YouTube channel post just to explain just his absence and things like that. So I'm not sure when Collectors Unite will be back. And I just figured that on occasion, maybe I'll hop on my channel and do some unboxing. So a few weeks ago, I did the Mantis unboxing, and then all the Hong Kong stuff I had, I just thought, you know what? I think it makes more sense to just go live and just show all the stuff rather than filming and editing some kind of video, because then I can answer questions and chat to people. So that was my thinking with doing this, and I think it went well. I hope it went well. If people have liked the unboxings, let me know. But also, because more people are here, I'll reiterate, let me know now in the chat or in the comments. I bought in Hong Kong these cool Hot Toys pins because I liked the branded merch. So there's a pin for Hot Toys, Rebel Base, Secret Base, and Toy Hunters. That was the full set. And I have a spare set. So I was thinking perhaps if there was enough interest, I could do a channel giveaway with the spare set of pins. So if you're watching live, let me know. Quite a few people earlier, because God, we're almost at 3 hours. I'll wrap up soon. I'm sure you're all sick of my voice. If you're interested, let me know in the chat now or in the replay. Are the pins of interest? Would you like me to do a channel giveaway? I thought these were so cool. Secret Base, Toy Hunters, Hot Toys, and Rebel Base. So I just thought the branded merch was cool. I just had to get some of the stuff. I also got the Hot Toys hat, which was super cool. And I got a keychain because why not? As I say, I went crazy and whatnot. So yeah, if people are interested in the pins, let me know and I will devise some kind of giveaway where I'll give away that set of pins to someone because I just think they're really cool. And they're metal, like really high quality, really nice. Wonder where that prototype is. Howard's house? I assume all prototypes just live in Howard's house. Oh, it got sold, really? Huh, that's interesting. Because I remember they did those painted tumblers that they auctioned off as well. Like there was a Gotham Police one and there was a Harley themed one. Yeah, I'm surprised. I would have thought Howie would just keep them all in his house. He'd just have a prototype room. Like that's where the N1 Starfighter is, right? Maybe they're designing the lighting. Often, hello, good afternoon, okay, hello, welcome. I've been talking for the longest time and I will probably try to wrap up soon because I'm shocked that some people have been listening to me talk for this long. Like I always question if people actually enjoy streams where it's one person. I don't know. I seriously need to get a rescue back in the collection. The prices on eBay have been crazy cheap. Yeah, that was another one that was half price at Toy Hunters in Hong Kong. Like, the prices were crazy. And I think I mentioned this before. Sylvie, I couldn't believe, like, they were practically giving away Sylvie figures. They were so cheap. I'll be happy with at least one pin. I'm going to give them away as a set, I feel like the completionist in me, I feel like that's a cool thing to have a whole set. Because otherwise, how do I decide who gets what? I don't know. In another universe, the ideal business idea would be for Hot Toys and Jazz Inc. to join forces. Yeah, maybe. I mean, and this is the thing. It sounds like one of the interviews I saw with Yoast, I think it might have been on One Six Figure Focus's channel. He talked about the licensing and how I think certain licensing was coming up next year and how he would like to have that ability to talk to Hot Toys to say, look, we want to make things that complement what you're doing, not compete. I just don't think Howard wants to play with anyone. I mean, think about it. Like, Hot Toys has pretty much just, like, you know, they're the leading force in 1/6. They've kind of established this thing. They've got all the licenses. They've got all the stuff. Why would they feel like they need to cooperate with anyone? Like they're the big dogs. So I don't know. I kind of get a little bit of why Howard is the way he is. But yeah, I mean, if you've been leading the industry, why would you then want to be like, oh, sure, I'll play with you? I don't know. As I say, I can see both sides of it. But what will happen, I don't know, because I just feel like Hot Toys is watching, and if they're seeing people have interest in these figures, I can't see why they wouldn't do them. Like, I never thought they would show us a George Clooney Batman. I mean, I know it hasn't gone up for PO yet, but they've been taking him to a lot of their events. Is that coming soon? Maybe. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll go deep into the line, but man, that bat missile's just got me thinking anything is possible. Anything is possible. The name is very clear, Bravo. Okay, is that my name? I think you might be a bit behind. I don't know. I'm going to wrap up very soon, though, because I can't believe this has almost been 3 hours. That's what's frustrating with the hobby. They could never tell anyone a new release is coming and it's here in a month. No lead time to prep some funds. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is probably where in Australia the delay actually works in our advantage, because when you see the figures dropping in Hong Kong, you kind of know you've got maybe 2, 3, sometimes 4 months to sort of get your affairs in order. So maybe that's one of the upsides of us being so late, whereas elsewhere with Sideshow, I feel like that gap is not a consistent gap. Like sometimes it feels like they get stuff very quickly. Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay. Like with that Batmobile, it felt like there was a little bit of a delay between Hong Kong and Sideshow, which I don't think has been as typical at the moment. So it is what it is. 3-hour stream, my kind of stream. I don't know. I feel like people are dropping like flies. So I stopped unboxing things a long time ago. I'm now just gibbering on. Helen, we're enjoying the stream. One time I watched this guy stream R2D2, his first time ever. Each stream was 8 hours. He streamed for 4 consecutive Saturdays. 8 hours. I don't think my voice would hold up for 8 hours. My goodness. No. I would not do that. I don't even like... Because I did my first unboxing of Mantis and I was half going, oh, should I do a stream the next week? But then I was like, does someone want to listen to some random Australian chick talk about figure news when there's how many other streams doing that? Like, I talked myself out of it is what I'm saying. So I don't know how long Collectors Unite will be on a hiatus for, but as I said, if I have stuff to unbox or stuff that I think I can go live with, I'll use the usual time slot and hop on. So I'll try to fill the gap as much as I can while the guys are unavailable. Absolutely, Hot Toys doesn't need to. I'm glad there is Jazz Inc. though, of course. Yeah, I mean, 100%. And this is, the thing we have to acknowledge is that, the In-Arts, the Jazz Incs, they're putting pressure on Hot Toys to up their game and to do more. Like, some of the complacency they might have had has probably been a little bit lifted, because would they have done another Purple Coat Joker, which I think is a fully redeveloped figure? No. Like we saw that with the Batman Begins 2.0 they did. That was pretty much the same figure they did last time, but with the DX19 head sculpt. Like there wasn't huge differences in some of the stuff they've reissued. So I think, there's that pressure now of, okay, you've got to keep upping your game. But by the same time, if they have all the licenses and all the stuff, I don't feel like they're going to want to negotiate. And I don't know if that's a cultural thing, like a pride thing, like we're the leader, why would we... It's a bit like the Lannisters, the lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep. Isn't that what Tywin says to Jaime? Like that might be how Howard thinks. I don't know. I'd like to get one of those Hot Toys LED light up. Yeah, me too. That was probably one of the things I didn't see a lot of. The light boxes were pretty limited, and I think if there was a Hot Toys logo one, I would have gotten it, because I was into the brand merch. And even the one Dark Knight light box I saw was a shop that just resold boxed figures, and I thought the price was a bit steep for what it was, so I didn't get it. But yeah, I would have loved that. Figure Hideout has one that he has in the background of his videos, and I think that's super cool. So if I could have found one, I would have. Maybe next time when I go stalk Howie, I'll ask him for one. You make interesting points as well. Thank you. I try to. Who needs a Russian and a Korean? All we need is an Aussie. Yeah, maybe. I miss them though. It's nice to have people to bounce off and chat to, because otherwise it's just me talking to the abyss, hoping that someone's watching. No doubt Howard Hot Toys is very much watching. Yeah, I think he is. He'd have to be. It's smart business, right? You need to be watching your competition and seeing what they're doing. So Collectors Unite, the Rundown 2.0. I know, even the Rundown, like, what's happening? These were like the 2 streams I watched the most, and they're both like kind of not happening. But I know John and Anthony have a lot on as well. So life happens. I'm just in this happy holiday mode that I've been in for a stupid amount of time, and I've just realized like I have to go back to work in 7 weeks, and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna adapt after
like 6 months of doing whatever the hell I've wanted. It's been lovely. Highly recommend it. Australia, land of holidays. People chatting amongst themselves. That's cool. We just need some background music. So, okay, this is the thing. So I'm learning the StreamYard, and clearly I'm not paying for StreamYard because it's ridiculously priced. And before my first stream, I started listening to the music, and I was like, oh, you clearly get very limited music options with the free version, because they all just felt not like background music. They felt like they would be a bit disruptive. So I don't know. If I do this again, maybe I'll run through some tunes and you guys can tell me which one you like. But I mean, I tried to play you some music, some beautiful Avengers music. So annoyed, but this is beautiful. I can't wait to show off more of that diorama stuff that I saw from Oscar. Exactly. Hopefully these other companies make Hot Toy step up. Yeah, I think they already are. I think they are. And this is what I find so interesting, is that some of the people who have been like Team InArt and they're in the influencer batch, they're saying Hot Toys Bane is figure of the year. They're saying Hot Toys Joker is better than the InArt one. So I think it's interesting, the environment that we're in. But I feel like they're stepping up. And I still, as I say, I think if I have to make a choice between companies, I'm sorry, I'm always going to hit Hot Toys. They've just got the track record. I just feel more confident in their products than anyone else at this stage. The way YouTube is now, I think it's fine without. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because the first time I streamed and music was playing, I didn't realize that we would hear the music as well. So it took me a while to like learn to block out the music, because I actually found it quite distracting, like hearing the music. I thought that was just a thing the audience heard. Live unboxing would be great from you as well, Helen. Thank you. It's funny, Carlos, who was in the stream earlier, when I got the Batmobile, because he was like, are you going to do an unboxing? And I was like, well, no, everyone's already seen it. Like, I'm getting it so late in Australia. And he's like, no, you should do it. Like, you're excited about this. So yeah, I did it, and quite a few people watched it, which I was surprised by. So I don't know. I just feel like so many people do reviews and unboxing. You know, I get things so late in Australia. But as I said, for now, maybe just to help fill the Collectors Unite gap. But yeah, I don't know when Pop Culture's next batch is coming in, because it's been a while since we've gotten new stuff in Australia. I don't think it'll be long before third-party figures have rolling eyes as standard too. Yeah, maybe. It's becoming the thing, right? I don't know. I feel like it's more parts that can break. I get nervous about breaking stuff. What kind of superhero would you create? In general, or from like an existing IP that hasn't been made? Because I feel like I've been pretty vocal about wanting a Koye for the longest time. I really want a Koye for my A-Force. I miss watching Christian eating on the stream, right? Like, I hope he's still getting his potassium with the bananas. Those Korean mums, man, so demanding. Just taking up all of his time. Yeah. I miss the guys too. It is what it is. I got to rewind for that. Yeah, no, I've been going for like the longest time, and it's funny because the viewers started to dip and then it's come back up again, and I'm like, really? Because I'm just nattering on now. Like, I'm not even showing the stuff that I bought. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff. So the first part is a lot of the loose kit bash parts and things I got. Then I got some figures, and then my favorite thing is my custom diorama, which does play music that YouTube won't broadcast, because I don't know why. Because I am new to this and I don't understand. Clinton Lindsay usually has the good info on pop culture batches. He does. Yep. He has a group called 16 Galaxies, which I'm in. And they monitor the Icon website and give people a heads up as to the new batches and what's coming out when. So if you are in Australia or ordering from Pop Culture, 16 Galaxies is a good group to be in. Sadly, a lot of the Australian groups are now just BST. Like, there's not a lot of conversation that happens, but I feel like a little bit of chat still happens in 16 Galaxies, and definitely those announcement videos are super handy.
And when Brett would get on him as well, Christian would get, yeah, I know. Ah, well, hopefully one day soon, as I say. It is what it is. It's a bummer. Studying recorded cultural history since 407 AD, some cultures are more hesitant to share anything when it comes to economics and inventiveness. Yeah. Could be. I just don't think Howie wants to share anything. I know why you don't pop out anymore even with the bell on. I don't understand. Helen, what time is it then? We need you to go to bed. Yeah. It's now 1 a.m. on Saturday morning. So, yeah, it's funny because my sleep is a bit crazy because when I flew home, I pretty much flew through the night. So I left Hong Kong at like 7 p.m. and I had to go through Singapore. So I left at 7 p.m. and I got home at about 5:30 a.m. So I didn't sleep on the flight because I just didn't. And so now I'm just like sleeping whenever because I kind of have that luxury. So yeah, I look very tired. I was going to take like a photo of me holding like shopping bags for the thumbnail of this. And every photo I took, I was like, it doesn't even look like me. I look so shattered. So hence I just took, I think it was a photo in front of Echo Base. I was like, that'll do. The Hot Toys logo is there. That's fine. Still some goodies to unpack and set up and organize. Everything's unpacked. I think set up and organize is the biggest thing. You know, in particular, you know, I've got 2 John Wick head sculpts. We've got the other one. So for those who weren't here earlier, I got the Hot Toys one and I found an 11 one. So I have a Topo black suit, which I've wanted to John Wick for the longest time, and my original plan was the RCN Studios head sculpt, which I'm losing confidence is ever going to come out. So that's one of the things I got to decide. Because I also got the navy blue Topo shirt. So am I going to leave the black shirt? Am I going to change it for the navy blue? Because I feel like the Hot Toys John Wick 2 shirt is more of a navy blue. So I don't know. Maybe I'll rewatch the movie and see how I feel. But then I got a head sculpt decision to make. I got, what am I going to do with this diorama? Where am I going to put that? That's a cool decision I have to make. I got my pop toy stand. Where am I going to use that? Am I still going to use that with Captain Marvel? But also incorporating this into the A-Force display. So I have a cool new idea for tweaking the A4 setup, which is going to include this base, which I'm excited to do. And I have to say, that was one of the cool things about going to the different Hot Toy stores is some of the posing is amazing. Like, they had a really cool walking pose for Wasp where she's like adjusting the little thing on her wrist, which I'm going to steal because her wings are problematic. And when I get Endgame Wanda, I want her in a flying pose. So just seeing the way they pose figures is amazing. Like they did a back-to-back pose of the Batman and Robin from Batman Forever, which again, I'm stealing. So it was amazing to just see the creative ways that they're posing stuff. So I'm totally stealing that. And I've got so many videos I need to make from my trip. I think there's going to be at least 5 videos from my Hong Kong trip. So I got to just get my skates on and do them. But I'm also going to be on Points of Articulation on Monday on Costa's channel, Pop Culture Living Room. So if you're not sick of my voice, come hang out on Points of Articulation. It's a game show. It goes for around an hour, so it's quite good. It's not a mega stream like this. I'm at 303. That's stupid. What am I even doing? So yeah, Points of Articulation on Costa's channel. It's lots of fun. I think it's Sunday night for you guys in the US, Monday morning for me. So I'm glad you popped up on my feed yesterday to get notified for this morning. Thank you. I actually promoted this a bit more than my last stream. The stream I did for Mantis, I put a thing up like half an hour beforehand because I thought we were going to do Collectors Unite that night. We didn't. And then I just randomly went, fine, I'll do Mantis. So I'll try to give people a bit more notice when I am going live, but I'm kind of mindful that most people probably are more sub to Bretta than me. So I'm trying to use my Instagram and my 6 Scale Shira Facebook profile to kind of share a bit more when I'm doing this stuff, because it's obviously more fun to have people to hang out with and chat. But I'm super happy the video appears to be better quality this time. So yes, if we can get 1% better each time, that's a good thing. Nice scores. What was the price of the loose goods? I'm going to keep Ash a cane. The prices they varied. You have to shop around. So it just depends. Generic things were super cheap. Like I got a pair of just like, let me see if I can find them. I just got a pair of like random like black men's boots. They were like 30 Hong Kong dollars, which is like nothing. So little things like that can be super cheap. Things that are more Hot Toys branded can be a little bit more expensive, but I think it also depends how popular things are. Like like 150 Hong Kong dollars for this, like huge diorama base. Like to me, that was crazy. The Topo shirt was like 95 Hong Kong dollars. So everything was considerably cheaper than what you'd buy online. The challenge is finding the things you want, because I had very specific things on my list and some of them I just couldn't find. And you just got to wade through a lot of things. So, but yeah, as a baseline, things like pop toy suits, things like that I saw, they were a lot cheaper. And even the head sculpts, like you just see head sculpts that are either long sold out. Like I didn't realize, like I was showing off this Burning Soul Wade Wilson head sculpt that I actually got for Iron Logan. And I'd never seen or heard of this. And then someone was saying that actually this was released a while ago. So are you going to focus on Mr. Wilson for me, please? So you just find stuff that is long sold out, existed a long time ago. Like I always think of like those military suits that they did for Captain America. I saw them in so many shops in Hong Kong. Like there are places that just have stuff from years and years ago readily available, like the different Bane clothing sets. I think, were they M Toys? Like I almost bought one of them when I couldn't find Hot Toys Bane, but I'm gonna try to stick with and find the Hot Toys one. So I'll do that. How much for each Wick sculpt? So the 11 one that I got was 220 Hong Kong dollars, which is $28 US. And the Hot Toys one was $400 Hong Kong, which is about 50 US. So even if you compare it to places like Toy Anxiety, it's cheaper because the figures are just cheaper in Hong Kong. This is what blows my mind. Like the price difference is insane. And even, you know, if you want to part out figures, it's so easy for you to go to one of these shops, buy a secondhand Hot Toys figure, and then part it out, and you'll probably sell it parted out for more than what you bought an entire figure for. That's the crazy thing for me. Did you go to Hong Kong with a set budget in my figures? Absolutely not. I didn't really know what to expect price-wise. And my mentality was more that I was going to buy loose parts. I didn't see myself buying complete figures because I just didn't imagine that they would be that much cheaper. I never thought I would get figures for like 150 and 160 Australian dollars, particularly like Valkyrie came out this year. Like that's not an old figure. So I didn't have a set budget. I just bought stuff that I liked. Like I'm very fortunate to be in that position. But yeah, I feel like Hong Kong as a whole was an affordable holiday. And I guess this was the thing, having just been through the US and Canada. So many tourist places I went to in Hong Kong, you weren't paying admission, you weren't paying this, you weren't paying that. The subway was so cheap, so cheap. And given how crowded it is, I think it's a lot quicker to ride the subway than get taxis. So I feel like the trip in itself didn't feel like an expensive trip. And even every time I did the maths on items, and again, they were things that I wanted, they were so much cheaper than anything I could buy from home. So that's how I justified it to myself. So it is what it is. Helen, you look awesome at 1 a.m. local time. Please get some rest nevertheless. Yeah, look, I'm going to wrap up very soon because, yeah, I can't believe how long this has gone for. I was like, yeah, half an hour to an hour, but God, I just talk. I'm like telling a story about everything. You guys are probably like, just show us the stuff. We don't need to hear the story, but it is what it is. Sounds great. Looking forward to trip fitters. Yeah, me too. I'm going to get onto those quickly because I know a lot of people want to see them. Are the shops close together or a bit of travel within the city to get to all of them? The Hot Toys shops are, they're not far, but they are sort of subway rides away. So where I stayed was walking distance to Rebel Base. From where I stayed, it was a couple of stops on the subway. So Mongkok is the sort of main area that has like Secret Base, Toy Hunters, and a lot of the figure shops. So that is, I would say, like the epicenter of where you want to go. Echo Base is in Causeway Bay, but the subway, it's super easy. Like you could easily, depending on how you want to structure it, you could do the 3 Hot Toy stores in a day easily. And the nice thing is the opening times are staggered. So Rebel Base opens at 11 a.m. And then I think Echo Base and Secret Base maybe open at 12, or maybe Secret Base opens at 1. But yeah, it's so you could easily, because Echo Base and Rebel Base are quite small, like you could go to Rebel Base, you could do that, you could get the subway, check out, Rebel Base, then go to Echo Base, and then go to Secret Base and do all that. It just depends how you want to do it. So in my videos, I kind of want to talk about the different malls and what they're good for, because I would have started at a totally different shopping complex if I knew what I did now. So that's what I want to share with everyone. So if you go, I want to make it easy for you to find the stuff you want to find quickly, because if you're wanting kit bash stuff, there's specific malls for that. If you're more wanting figures, there's specific malls for that. So you might not want to look at the malls with kit bash stuff, or vice versa. So if I can help people maximize their time, I'd love to do that. Nice. No limits on how much something you can purchase. Look, I mean, generally, yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge collector that buys a lot of stuff. Like I feel like the number of figures I buy per year is not a huge number. So these were things that I wanted to buy anyway. So I kind of went, well, for the price, it works well. I don't buy everything and anything. So I don't know. How much would this have all cost? Good question. I feel like it's less than $1,000 Australian, which would be what, $650 US, I think. Thank you so much for your time and sharing. Love your spirit. Thank you. Appreciate you dropping by. It would have been fun to figure hunt in Hong Kong with a group of people. Then again, it could be a problem if we enable. Well, that's the thing, right? Like I enabled myself. God, I normally am very diligent with it all, but as I said, this was all stuff that I wanted, with the exception of the Lego. The Lego was my random buy, but I'm still happy I bought this. This is my new house plant. So I think that's the thing. I think not getting suckered into non-1/6 scale stuff is going to be the challenge, because I felt like the 6 scale figures were not as prominent as other things like the Lego and the 12th scale and the smaller like anime stuff. So I think if you can stay in your lane of Hot Toys or 6 scale, I think it makes it a lot easier. If you get swayed into other stuff, I think you're in trouble. I love the stories behind the hunts, so no problem for me. Thank you. Appreciate that. I just figured it makes it a bit more interesting than going, it's a sculpt, it's a shirt, it's a whatever. Where did you visit in Canada? I was primarily on the west coast of Canada. So I went to Victoria, I went to Vancouver, and then from Vancouver, I sort of did a tour into the mountains. So we went to like Whistler, and we went to Sun Peaks, and we went to Revelstoke, and we went to Banff, and then I finished up in Calgary. Although I didn't spend any time in Calgary. I pretty much got there and left. But I loved Canada and I thought it was beautiful, and I definitely want to go back and spend more time in the mountains because I just think it's a very beautiful part of the world, and I enjoyed it so much. Like I thought I'd like it, but I enjoyed it so much more. Like all the hiking and all the like nature stuff. Like I really enjoyed it there. I thought it was great. Very cool. Thank you. The shops don't limit, like, you can only buy one Hot Toys John Wick help sculpt, so you aren't putting up a bunch on eBay or something. No. Well, I mean, the shop I went to just had one John Wick head sculpt, but then there was multiple shops that had John Wick head sculpt, so that's the decision you've got to make. So what I found was quite interesting was with some of the shops, I think, again, because the space is so limited, you would have a shop, and then within the shop, they almost like sublet cabinets to other people. So the place I got the John Wick sculpt from, there was another guy who was setting up the display. So it wasn't his shop, but he had stuff through there. And I got chatting to him, and he was actually saying he actually sells most of his stuff on carousel, but he then displays some of the stuff at the shop. So he only had like one John Wick sculpt, but then he had 2 or 3 different Black Widow sculpts. So he had the Endgame, the Age of Ultron, and I think the snowsuit one perhaps. So you didn't really have a plethora, I think, just because space is at a premium. So a lot of the times, even with boxed figures, you wouldn't see them there. They would have like printouts of the figures, and I've tried to document this for the video, where they would show the Hot Toys figure, and then there'd be underneath new or used, and they would tick if it was new or used and the price. So they don't have the space to even have all of the figures in their shops, because the retail spaces are like probably as wide as my hallway in my house. They're tiny little spaces. So a lot of the time it's minimal amount on display, and anything that's a big chunky thing, they will have printouts. So you really have to look when you go into the shop, either look towards the ceiling because that's where the Hot Toys boxes are stacked, or look at what bits of paper are displayed around, because a lot of the times that would be, these are all the Hot Toys we have on offer, it's new, it's used, and this is the price. So yeah, I that was the only Hot Toys John Wick sculpt I saw, and I bought it. Same with a lot of these other ones. Would he have restocked the next day another one? I don't know, but there wasn't that opportunity to buy a ton of them. Toys 2 in Toronto's Hot Toy Centre in Canada. I need to go to the east coast of Canada. I think next time I go to North America, I want to see both sides of Canada, because I didn't get to the east coast. Online dealers put limits, which I'm fine with. Just wondering if they do that over there. Yeah, I know like Toy Anxiety does that, which I appreciate, because I feel like as they've become more well-known, their stuff just flies out. I feel like Toy Anxiety is becoming like a competitive sport now to get anything new or recent. So yeah, no limits, but as I said, their stock that they display is limited. So, but I was surprised, like DX11 head sculpts, John Lennon Molecule 8 head sculpts. Like I was surprised. Like there was stuff that I just did not expect to see at all. Oh my God, I'm in Vancouver. Did you check out Toy Traders? Huge air hanger building full of toys. I didn't. And I copped a lot of flack from Christian and Joelle for this, because I generally don't go figure shopping when I'm on holiday. Like Hong Kong was the exception, because that's like Mecca, right? Like that's you know, the holy land of figures. So when I was in the US, I didn't look at any shops. The one I was slightly interested in was Toy Anxiety, and I was in Phoenix, but they said to me that they don't have the loose parts on display for you to browse through and buy, and that was kind of the big draw card for me. I was like, well, I want to rifle through the stuff, because I don't know every figure that's ever made, and I don't know what part might exist that I'm not aware of that I need. So I didn't, and I mean, the exchange rate for Australia and the US dollar is pretty hideous as well. So I didn't, but as I said, that's just me. I know some people want to go figure shopping wherever they go. I didn't. I had a feeling that I would end up going to Hong Kong, so I'm kind of glad that I saved my Aussie dollary dues for Hong Kong. So, ditto Helen's backstories behind the hunt really makes it real. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I just can talk far too long. Like, I've talked to myself for like 3.5 hours. This is stupid. Can't get any cheaper or better than Hong Kong. Any other country would be more expensive. Agreed. And I was lucky. Singapore Airlines let you do 25 kilos of checked baggage, which, yeah, was crazy. I think my bag was like 22 or 23 kilos, and that was predominantly the figure stuff that I bought. And then I tried to put all my clothes in my checked baggage, so that was crazy. Look, 3 hours 20 is a long time. So I'm gonna call it. That's a fair innings. I think I've done really well. Thank you to everyone who came to hang out with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this insight into the figure haul and my time in Hong Kong. As I said, more videos are coming up, so I will do my best to get them out on the channel as quickly as I can. Do you collect art as well? I do have some art prints that you can't see because they're on this wall that I'm facing. So I do have some of them are actually character specific and signed by the actors, which is really cool. Like, I've got Robin Lord Taylor as Penguin from Gotham, who I really loved. I've got Matt Ryan as Constantine. I've got an art print of Oliver Queen and John Diggle from Arrow, which is signed. I've got probably one of my favorite pieces. It's a art piece of Stan Lee with all the sort of Marvel characters around him, and I got that signed by Stan when he came to a convention in Australia, so that's very valuable piece to me. But yeah, and I've got some Batman art prints which are not hung up. So I have some, and I've got some Avengers art prints as well, which is hard because I don't have a lot of wall space in this room to display them. So it's that catch-22 of I like it, but I don't have a lot of room to display them. So you should have bought 2 check bags. Look, I didn't think I was buying 4 figures. Yeah, but the figures I would have bought, I feel like the prices I could get them from didn't feel like I could justify the price. But yeah, if I went again, I would have probably a better plan of attack knowing what I do now. So it is what it is. Wow, marathon. God, it feels like a marathon. Lucky I had a coffee before I started. That's helped me get going. I don't know what that means. GG, good game? I don't know. Sorry, it's early. Helen, you'll see going strong. Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked how long this has gone for. Thanks so much. Have a great time. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you. You too. Thanks, everyone. I really appreciate everyone hanging out, chatting. As I say, I had an amazing time in Hong Kong. I highly recommend it as both a holiday destination and for figure hunting. I really thank you. I will. I really enjoyed the sightseeing because I'm an overthinker. The sightseeing, the culture, the food, amazing place to visit. I really enjoyed it. The 8 days flew by. I totally plan to go there again. So I will share as much as I can about the experience. As I say, also some general advice. As Keith mentioned, no napkins. I had that in my videos, which I still think is crazy. But yeah, great place to visit. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you found this interesting. And don't forget, let me know in the comments if you're watching on the replay, would you like me to do a giveaway of these awesome Hot Toys metal pins? Because I will do it. I will give them away to someone. So let me know, because I just think branded merch is cool, and I didn't even know this stuff existed till I went to Hong Kong. So I will give those away if there's enough interest, because I think it would be a cool thing. Oh, goodness. Yeah, good game. Okay. I don't know. I don't know all the lingo. I came in late. I'll catch up. Yeah, I don't think I have any more in me to give, because it's almost been 3.5 hours, which is crazy to me. Oh, look, people have made friends as well. That's awesome. I'm just so happy. Give us the bit. Yeah, I need to think of some cool competition to do. I'll take the Hot Toys on, please. I want to give them away as a set. I'm a completionist. I feel like they should all go together to a home. But yeah, I've seen new names, which is awesome. So thank you. I don't know how you found me, but I appreciate you hanging out. I will get onto those videos as soon as I can. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to go crash because, oh my God, 3.5 hours of talking. I'm crazy. See you later, guys. Take care.